I want all of you fucking marks out there to always keep it pinky.
What are you doing down there?
I don't know.
Okay. We're very grateful this week. We're not sure what for, but for something. Wait, I got to do one more thing to go with this, though.
Not the lip bite.
You got to bite the lip.
Not the lip bite.
You got to do the fuck boy lip bite
The fuck away.
to complete the package.
I like we all know what it is, though.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of
In this
Freebird
bitch.
Rules.
In this bitch again.
I am Hambone, aka Dax Hardwood.
I'm him.
I'm Nick Aldis.
You see it?
I run SmackDown.
This guy, he's got a song out right there.
He does. Team Rocket.
Go find that on Spotify or wherever
very
you find
good.
your music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True.
How you guys doing this week?
I'm good, bro.
I'm tired.
I'm still recovering from Applebee's yesterday. Bro, Tom was in town, right? So he came to visit us. And we decided as a group to go to Applebee's. And I got wings. And I'm still recovering from eating those wings. Those are not great wings. They tasted fine. They just were
No.
not health reasons.
You know what your first problem was?
He goes,
Going to
Applebee's.
Applebee's.
I knew
Yep.
it was,
I figured. Yeah,
That's your problem.
I figured.
That's your problem right there.
Yeah. No, I figured.
I'm giving Applebee's some grace, bro, because that burger quesadilla is fire.
So, I used to work at Applebee's,
Oh.
and because I work there, I will not give them any grace.
How long you been there?
Oh god, it was a long time ago.
Oh, like some one of your first jobs type shit.
Yeah, when I was like 19.
Let's talk about it. What was our first job? Ham.
Burger King.
For real?
Yep.
Really?
I know what
Target.
Nick's was Target. It's weird because like the first job I had, I don't count that one because I only got like one paycheck and the lady was really bad at it, right? But I guess you could say my first job was Walmart.
Okay. Let's talk about how much we got paid at our first job.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
I made $5.50 an hour.
Oh, mine was probably like 7 or 8. Yeah. Mine was in 2011. So.
Walmart. Yeah. Damn, bro. Mine was I feel like mine was like single digits, maybe like 7 or 8, probably similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the same for me.
Wait, so what'd you do at Target? I forgot what you did.
I was a cashier.
He was cashier.
Me?
Yeah, you.
I just cooked.
Cooked. We made the Whoppers.
I stole so much food from Burger King. It's not-
Burger King's my favorite fast food restaurant, so I would too.
Burger King used to be, but they suck now.
Nah,
They
I
suck.
don't say all that.
I ain't gonna say all that. I
They
still
suck.
fuck with Burger
Other than their breakfast
The
and
breakfast is fire.
King. All right, bro. Nah, you lost me. Their
he agrees.
What?
breakfast is trash.
Oh, you're a hater. You're a hater.
No.
I've
You're
never
a
fucked
hater.
with
No.
y'all.
Nah, you're a hater, bro.
No, sir. The fucking what are those? The French toast sticks? Get them the fuck out of here. Anything on the breakfast and their chicken? Fuck no.
Nah,
Yeah.
I fuck with that fully loaded croissant sandwich with bacon and sausage and ham.
Stop.
Yep.
Mm.
Dunkin'
Nah, that's my shit, bro.
Dunkin' Donuts got a better one.
Con, you're a little low on
I-
your mic.
Dunkin' Donuts food sucks. Terrible.
How we
All
feel
their
about
food
this?
sucks.
I don't know if you're on your actual mic right now.
I'm on my actual mic right now, sir. Yeah, I'm on my actual mic right now.
No, it doesn't sound like you are.
Hold on.
You're just really low.
Yeah, I'm on my mic.
You are?
Yeah.
It's really low.
Yeah, You're a little low.
Okay.
You're a little low.
That's all.
I mean, we can hear you, but
I mean, I can hear you, but it's just low. Lower than usual.
All right, we'll make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into some headlines, boys.
Do it.
Wrestling headlines. All right, now we're getting some feedback from you, Con.
Yeah, I turned that shit all the way up.
It's too far up.
All right, how about that?
That's good.
Yeah.
There we go.
Interesting.
Right here.
Yeah, this is fucking sad. Because I'm just really tired of seeing people get injured.
And she just came back too, which is
And
even
she just
worse.
got back from the injury, which is even worse. So it's like, that whole thing. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know much to say about this, but other than that, that just sucks.
Do you watch NXT at all, Nick?
I do not.
Okay. Con, you've been dabbling in it, right?
Yeah, I'm still getting hip to Cora Jade. I've always known who she was, but it seems like this past year she's kind of stepped her game up. I don't really know too much about her, so I can't really react either. But Nick was the one that told me that she had just came back from the injury.
Yeah.
Now, what
She
was
just came back, had some surgery, I think, and then
the first injury?
I think it was something sort of like this. I can't really remember. I want to say it was something like this, but
I remember when Lita tore her ACL. I remember that. She was out for a while, bro. It felt like probably maybe like if not a year, close to it.
But people are always getting injured off of the stupidest stuff too, you know?
So
It's
what
never like
she
a
get?
high risk move. It was just at a house show, you know?
Wait, so how's she getting injured?
I don't
It's a
know.
house
the ex-
show.
Yeah. It wasn't like some big crazy move or anything. I don't know
That sucks.
exactly
I
what it
think
is,
that
but-
especially sucks when it happens on like I mean it's probably horrifying when it happens on television, but like if you're like, and I don't know anything about it, I'm not gonna pretend like I do, but let's say that you're like in a storyline and then you do a house show and you get injured at the house show, that would fucking suck.
yeah.
It sucks all around, but to suck, you're in the middle of a story and it happened on like a untelevised, basically like non-canon show. Yeah, I'd be sick.
Yeah. I don't even think I don't think that she was like really in a storyline yet, but I do think that they were going to probably put the title on her at some point. I think they were putting a lot of stock into her. She went off on her last injury and she had some upgrades, let's say.
Did she
came
have
back.
the title before?
Huh?
Did she have the title before?
No.
Yeah.
She won the
Oh, no.
NXT tag team titles with Roxanne Perez and immediately turned on her.
That's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of Roxanne.
Oh yeah, Roxanne was the one that had the title and then got injured.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Speedy recovery.
For sure.
Speedy recovery.
This is crazy.
This is really crazy.
Did you tell me this, Nick?
I told you about this the other day.
Ooh, Jesus. Okay.
Yeah. So glad he didn't, because that would be awful.
Was this why he was gone? I thought he.
Yeah, from the most recent injury. Yeah.
Okay.
I was wondering why he was gone so long too. Like
I thought
that-
he like
that answers it.
like a bone injury or something like that. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
From a serious infection.
In a hole in his knee.
Yeah, that's what I was like. What does that mean exactly?
I don't know.
Like, how'd you get a hole in your knee?
I've never seen anything
I
like
gotta
that.
watch this
before.
interview. I gotta watch this interview.
Yeah.
I haven't watched a Peter Rosenberg interview in years, but yeah, I gotta peep this. I saw his Busted Open interview. That was a funny interview, man.
No, the clip of him where he's like, Bubba Ray was gonna ask him. He was like,
Oh yeah,
I have a very personal question to ask you, and he was like, I'm married.
yeah. Yeah.
I was like, God damn it, it's
I
too
was on
quick.
my night shift listening to that, but that's fucking almost amputated too, bro.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Sheesh. Hell of a comeback though.
Oh yeah,
Nick, what are you doing over there?
making my lighter.
Oh, I was gonna say you look distracted.
Oh, I know.
You're not here with me, man.
I'm here, bro. I'm here. I'm talking
Hey, bro,
wrestling.
my tripping is your microphone changing colors.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, sick.
Nice.
We got a lot of technical shit going on around here. I got a bunch of lights going on back here too.
Yeah. See, you were making upgrades too, Nick. Slowly but surely.
Slowly.
Oh, okay. That guy.
Ooh, hell yeah.
See, I felt like you kicked it off though, Con. You know, you
Yeah,
moved.
he did.
All of a sudden, you got your own little corner that looks all professional with your stuff on the walls. And,
Thank you.
With his dolly in the back.
yeah, with his dolly in the back.
I'm all business.
So I had to go, okay, so let's take this off. So what I did, right? I bought a whole setup. I bought the mic and I bought a new table and desk and everything. Before I was doing this off of just this like decorative table that we had. And
Yeah.
that's why I like my mic. I'm not my mic, but my camera. I could never get it where I wanted it or anything. So I got this table, and it is a electric table that you just hit a button, it goes up, it goes down.
Okay.
So you can put it wherever you want it. And I can put it like right over my chair here so it can get closer and everything.
It's hard.
And then I got a camera, but the camera we could not get figured out before this. So next time.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I remember winter of 2021 maybe. Because it just reminds me of what I did. I was like really, I think Nick and Joe were helping me working on this album, and I was like, I kept having to go to other people to get something taken care of. I didn't have like a microphone. I didn't have any equipment, so I had to keep depending on everybody else. And I think this is around the time, maybe it was around the time that we were in the lockdown. Maybe. I don't remember. The last couple of years are a little foggy in terms of just timelines, but something made me say it was definitely Christmas time, and I just got this laptop. Sheila got me this laptop, so something made me just say, you know what, I'm tired of waiting on people, so I bought the mic, I bought the mic stand, I bought some speakers, like I bought a whole bunch of shit. So that just reminded me of that.
Yeah, that's I was kind of just throwing together something with like, you know, found stuff from everybody or whatever. I figured, you know what, if we're gonna do this,
I really like that mic.
might as well put some money into it.
Nice.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna work on a setup soon. Still no win.
Yeah,
Right now, I'm just working on my girl's iPad. So
we'll get there. We'll all get there.
I get to do that stuff though.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I can't do that.
What else you got, bro? Hell yeah.
Happy about this. I feel like everybody's happy about this.
Hell yeah.
I gotta be, bro.
I was yelling. I was at Jeff's house. I was watching it with him and his dad. I was yelling when that happened.
I mean, you know, like we all kind of had heard about it for a while, and then last week, obviously, they did that little segment with Tyler saying, "Oh, you got to figure out what name you want to be, whatever." And then last night, I thought it was funny on SmackDown but right before he came out, they were interviewing, you know, Pretty Deadly in the back about the whole thing, and they kept just saying Butch, 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 Butch. They did it like 10 times in like a 30-second little thing. I was like, oh, he's coming out as Pete Dunne tonight. Yeah. They're really driving it home that he's not going to be Butch anymore.
I mean, I wish it didn't take so long, but like we're here, you know. I'm not going to complain about it now. And I get, you know, get it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I get that. Like, I wish it hadn't taken so long, but at the same time, I like the way that, you know, Triple H is handling it. Yeah, you know, the Brawling Brutes are done. Yep. So then, you know, Butch has an identity crisis. Doesn't know who he is by himself, and then it takes his old pal to come up on the roster to say, hey, you know, this isn't you. You know who you are. Right. You know, I like that he's not like Vince, like just one day you're going to be a different name and we're not going to give any reason for it. Triple H is like, no, if we're changing your name, then let's work it in and we're going to give a logical reason for this to happen.
Right.
I like that too. I mean, if they had just said like, you know, even without the story, if they had just switched it back to Pete, I still would have been excited. But I do like, this is different because there's a story behind the name. So this was creative. This was very creative.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I like many others was ready for and also disgusted when they changed his name to Butch. I'd never been a fan of the Brawling Brutes. I never liked them. I hated the gimmick. I wasn't a fan of it, man. I just really wasn't. And I already didn't give a fuck about Ridge Holland. If we keep it in a whole buck, I didn't give a shit about Ridge Holland. And the fact that they just, and I mean, Pete Dunne made it work. You know, he made it work. I was still entertained by him. I just couldn't get past the fact that his name was fucking Butch. I just
Right.
hated that shit. But
Right.
I couldn't be happier. So now I just want to see where this goes. But yeah, I don't know about y'all. I fucking hated the Brawling Brutes.
I thought it was fun. I wasn't like a big fan of him or anything, but I thought the things they would do was fun. Especially like when Sheamus and Drew McIntyre were hanging out, I thought that was really fun.
I didn't care about that shit.
But that was about it.
I mean, I'm a big fan of Sheamus. I think he's one of the most.
Sheamus.
Well, no, I'm just saying I'm a big fan of him and Pete Dunne, but I didn't care about Rich Holland, so I wasn't exactly like, oh, I love the Brawling Brutes or anything, but I still enjoyed, like seeing Sheamus and Butch wrestle because I like both of them. But
Absolutely.
the Brawling Brutes as a group, whatever.
Didn't
Didn't do enough for me. It's just such a hokey name too.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing. It was
Brawling
just
Brutes.
fucking hokey.
Yeah, really?
That was
All right.
It was like, yeah, we all kind of know that already. About it. It's the same thing as what's that dude's name? The one that you was talking about that one time, Hambone. Why do I not remember his name? The big dude on Raw. He used to be named Jonah.
Bronson Reed.
Thank you. Thank you.
But no, it's just a big Bronson Reed. Yeah, that's
Big. Yeah, he's big, Bronson.
He's
Reed.
still doing that now, which is really annoying. But
Yeah.
But
Gotta throw that in. If you didn't know, he's big.
yeah, I couldn't tell by
Understand.
him taking up the entire TV. I
as
couldn't
you
tell.
say, none would have never picked it up.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
But yeah, welcome back, Pete Dunne.
Yes, cruiserweight.
I hope that him and Tyler Bates stay together for a while as a tag team too. I'd like to see them,
To heat up the tag division.
go for the titles.
Yeah.
I want him to fight Gunther again.
Pete Dunne.
Ooh, yeah.
That's all I want. Yes.
What do you guys think about this?
All right, so let me ask y'all, how did y'all feel about it the first time?
I liked it a lot. I attributed it to like it being a real sports program because that's and like they also like it would determine like who got a title shot at the any point in time. Like being the number one contender actually means something when you actually have the rankings working alongside with the wins and loss records that you have. So if that's how they're doing it, which is how they were doing it when they first started, it just makes it make a little more sense where it's just like, okay, now all of a sudden we're going to put a tournament together to figure out who the number one contender is. Like, no, like who's 28-0? Like, like fucking his whole thing was, and it's like, who's fucking, never lost a thing. And I think it was Johnny made a video. Shout out to Johnny. He was saying that like the dark and dark elevation was like kind of what muddied it up because people would just get on dark and win every match. But it's like, yeah, but you're beating people on dark. It's not like you're not on Dynamite every week and beating
That's not
everybody.
even shitting on it. We know what it was.
Yeah, it's just what it is. Yeah, it's not shitting on it. It's just like it's
know what it was.
That's just how it was, So that's kind of what muddied it up, and that's kind of why they stopped it. But now there's only 3 shows, so it's Dynamite and Rampage and Collision. So it's like, okay, all those are main time frame shows. So it's so the ranking should mean a lot more because we're just beating up on the actual like good talent that we got featured. So I like it a lot because I think it just makes it more meaningful.
I'm on board with it. I mean, I agree with everything Nick said. It was that's definitely what kind of made it a little bit of a gray area for me was the fact that like I remember at one point, like we all know like Red Velvet loses every fucking time we see her on TV, right? But I remember at one point, I don't remember who the women's champion was. It might have been Britt Baker. But I remember they were saying she was the number one contender for the women's championship. And I was like, since fucking when? But evidently she had been like killing it on Dark and Elevation. And I'm like, like, should that count? Consider like who I feel like, would have probably helped like made her rankings a little more legitimate on like a Dynamite. And I don't even think we had Rampage at the time. I don't remember. But like, now that we have these 3 shows, like you said, now that we got Dynamite and Rampage and Collision, I feel like the caliber of shows that those are compared to the old batch of shows definitely gives you more of like a clear cut, like, okay, this person for sure is the number one contender for like the TNT championship just based off of how they did on Rampage and based off of how they did on Collision. So has he I feel like I'm out the loop, man. Has he talked about this at all? You guys
No,
got-
they literally just
He just
announced it
tweeted
on-
about it.
Yeah.
He tweeted
and
about
they,
it.
and
That
they
was
just
about
said it on Collision, like, "Oh, the rankings are returning."
Yeah,
They
I don't even
just
think
said
that's. I don't even think they said why they stopped.
already. I feel like we know, I feel like we know what the ranking system is, like for the most part. But since it's been gone for a minute, I would like to see him kind of just give us like an updated explanation of it, just so it's like just clear on how they're going to decide, the rankings. Again, like we pretty much know, like it's like wins and losses and stuff like that. But it's been gone for a minute, so
Right.
let's just give us a refresher course.
Yeah.
So I feel two ways about this because I agree with everything you said, Nick. Like I do really like the idea of the ranking system. And if you're going to sit there and, present wrestling as, somewhat of a sport, then rankings matter, wins and losses matter. And I've always said that anyway. Like I hate the idea that wins and losses don't matter in wrestling because when you break wrestling down, you can say, excuse me, you can say it's sports entertainment and all that stuff, and that's all fine. But when you break wrestling down to its core, the whole point is two people go in there, they fight each other to prove that they are the best so that they can become a champion and make more money. Well, that's literally what it revolves around. So if you're not going to adhere to the fact that, oh, well, this person has 30 wins, so they should be the one fighting for a title compared to somebody who's got 15, then the core of wrestling just doesn't make sense if you do it that way. So I really do like the ranking system, and I like the idea of it. The only thing that I thought about, and I feel like this is what made AEW get rid of them too, is when you do that, you take away the option to tell a story. When you look at like say
I agree with him.
Say like in 6 months, right? Somehow Adam Cole is the world champion of AEW, and then MJF comes back. MJF isn't going to fight him because he doesn't have any wins for the entire year. Now he's going to have, and you're just going to watch Adam Cole just, fight people who, when you have that built-in huge storyline, because MJF can't jump the line. He hasn't done anything all year. So you take that away. If you're just strictly on just what the rankings say, you take that away.
Right. Okay. I agree with you there. If you stick strictly to it, like, yes, you do take away the storyline. However, I just don't think they will do that. I think they'll just keep it to, like, if the story is there, they'll do that story. Especially if like the champion is wants that story, or like let's say like I don't know Christian wants to fight Jack Perry again. Jack Perry comes back. Like that. It's champion's decision essentially whether or not he wants to fight that person or not. So I think they won't strictly stick to it. However, when you're not doing story stuff, I think it makes the non-story stuff make a lot more sense. I think that's I think the story takes precedent, but ultimately there's a lot of places where there's no story at all. So let's put number 2 and number 3 against each other and see what happens. That's kind of where I see it as.
You can make,
but I do agree. If you stick to it, you can't really do much story because you got to follow the rankings.
Right.
But
well, actually, you kind of said it. Yeah, I guess just to echo what you're saying. I don't think they're gonna full on stick with that. You know what I mean? AEW is just as prone to making bad calls as WWE is. And, we've seen plenty of times where WWE says, hey, we're going to follow the system. And then they just make up their own rules.
Right.
And AEW has done it a couple of times too. I can't think of any recent times off the top, but I don't think any wrestling company is just totally free of that. So, I say all that to say I basically agree on that part. But I hope that they find a good balance where, like you said, where they can, have these great stories where they're still within like the guidelines of the ranking system. And then you can also, with no story, put 2 guys who are close in the ranking system together, and then you can even make a story off that.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's the challenge of making this work because, that's how I'm going to feel. If we get to a point where, we're doing the rankings and we're sticking to them, and then somebody comes in and they jump the line and you just make a title match, everybody's going to go, but what about the number one contender?
Mhm.
So they got to figure out some way to make that okay.
Now,
Because if you don't come up with a reason, then what's the point of the ranking system? Again,
Yeah.
let me ask you a question. This is just like a hypothetical. Let me give you a scenario. How would y'all feel about this? Let's say we got the number one contender, right? I feel like Cam probably already knows where I'm going with this, but let's say you got the number one contender, and let's say MJF shows up, right?
Mm-hmm.
He wants Adam, but you got this number one contender.
Mm-hmm.
You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Okay, so how would y'all feel and about a scenario where, again, just a hypothetical, but a scenario where somebody returns who is pretty much at the bottom of the list, but in this case it's an MJF, right? And we all know he had the world championship last, and then he shows up, he wants that world title shot. Tony or whoever the fuck comes up and says, "Nah, bro, you know we got this ranking system here," and then. Again, hypothetical, but like, let's say the number one contender says, "Hey, I get you got history with this guy. Tell you what, let's have a match. You beat me. You're the new number one contender." I know how I feel about that. How do y'all feel about that?
I don't hate it, but again, I don't think that, every time you want to do that, to have somebody jump the line, you gotta tell it a different way. It can't always be, hey, well, especially because also, while I don't hate that, if I'm the number one contender, I'm not giving you a match to take it away from me just because you don't like this guy. I don't give a shit. I just wrestled like 20 matches and won them all. You haven't even been here, so I'm not doing that.
It's a scenario that I can see happening. That's why I asked.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like that shit either, because that's still jumping the line to me. Because
Right.
Again, it's like, bro, let's say the number one contender is a guy who was like a mid carder or maybe even a low carder the year prior to that, right? And it's like, bro, I just essentially like got this push.
Right.
You've been gone during this whole fucking push, and now here the fuck you come talking about some, hey, I wouldn't fuck with that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think you got to tell the story correctly. I think, I don't know about any number one contender just kind of giving up their match for their spot, So, but also like,
Hooked it up, bro.
Let's see it.
Man,
Let's see it.
I'm sorry, bro. Look at this.
Hold on.
Ooh.
God damn, bro. Look at that. Peep the fries. Yeah, she went crazy, bro. Yeah. Yeah.
Right there.
Where'd y'all go?
Kicked it out of there.
Oh man.
I was getting a close up of the food.
Yeah, get close up.
As it deserved.
Oh my god, man. Yeah, she does shit like this all the time.
So what's on top of it there? That's what I want to know.
Bacon jam.
Oh.
Bacon jam.
I just made it.
Just made it. Never made
Just
it before,
made it.
probably.
Yeah, you probably didn't even look at a recipe. We're just like, yeah, I'll figure it out. How hard can it be?
It's my recipe.
Oh, there you go. There
She
you go.
shits on a lot of restaurants, bro. No cap.
There you go.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I think there's an opportunity to tell a story there as well, where you the guy comes back and you face the number one contender, and maybe even further down the line, the number one contender, like let's say like MJF cheats to win against that number one contender, and then then he goes and loses to Adam Cole, and then fucking let's say it's Moxley's the number one contender, he fucking knocks out MJF and be like, nah, it's you and me now, because it's a grudge match type thing. So I mean, there's definitely ways to tell the story there. But yeah, I think it's going to be very loose. I think if anything, it's just a kind of cool way to see that, these like number one, number two, number three, like these things kind of matter within this, where it's like you can never really tell what's happening when there is no ranking system at all. Like I have no idea who the number one contender for the title right now is. You know what I mean?
Right.
For any company, I have no idea. Like they just kind of.
I don't
say
even think there is
day.
one. Like Joe's just, for example, in AEW, Joe's just taking on whoever decides to come out and say, hey, I want a shot. There is no contender. So
it's like who? Yeah. So it's like I can't tell what's happening either. So it's like if it's if that's what's happening, if anything, it's just kind of something cool to follow along with.
Yeah. Question.
Yes.
How'd you feel about when? Because I don't know if they still do it, but how'd you feel about when WWE used to do the Power 25? Remember that?
I mean, they didn't really apply it though.
That's how I felt. It was
know?
cool. Like it was cool.
Yeah, but what's the point?
But it felt like they just didn't apply that shit.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
almost felt like they just didn't acknowledge it at all.
Yeah. No, they got to acknowledge it in some way if you're going to bring it back. But at the same time, you don't have to really stick to it. I think there's an artistic way of handling it where it's really cool to follow along with, but at the same time, you got to tell your stories too.
Right.
Because not everyone's watching for that sports and analysis of it. You know, like not everyone's watching for that. Like some people are,
Right.
but definitely a lot of people are not. So.
Yeah.
You know, you're not watching it to see who the best is, or who's the fucking ranks against who. You're not, you know, the wins losses. You're not looking for that. You're looking for the story, or you're looking for your favorite wrestler to fight your other favorite wrestler. So,
Right.
you know, I think it's just another way of bringing people in. Honestly,
Well, Tony has said that they are going back to a sports-based product,
Good.
which
Love
makes sense because, you know, AEW does treat what happens in the ring as more important than WWE does. So it makes sense that they'd be like, yeah, well, let's do rankings because we want this to be as sports-based as possible because that's what our fan base likes.
and also it's different. Like no one else is doing that, as far as I can tell. No one's
Right.
doing any type of rankings or making it sports first.
Right.
Like it's, you know, like, and like I'm not saying it's a bad thing or a good thing, but it's more about the entertainment in WWE. You know, I mean, it's more about, you know, straight up fighting in New Japan. Like it's just about, you know, that. You know, there's not a whole lot of, you know, promos and vignettes from what I can tell in New Japan. So it's like it's not that's not even really there. So it's like, you know, every company's got their own kind of thing going on. You know, so so that they're going full sports with it. I like it a lot as a sports fan. I really like it. So and it's something different than all the other companies are doing.
Speaking of that, did you guys see? Hold on. I got to find it again. All right. Did you guys see the amounts of actual wrestling that were posted for this week's?
I saw it today.
You did? Did you see it, Nick?
So what was it now?
The actual amounts of like minutes of wrestling that were actually on the shows.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So for this week, you had Raw, which had 60 minutes out of
3 hours.
3 hours,
Jesus Christ.
38% of the show.
Yeah.
Then you had, you go to Dynamite. You had 62 minutes out of 2 hours, so 51% of the
Like
show.
half, yeah.
So then you go to SmackDown, which had 29 minutes of out of 2 hours,
way.
24% of the show.
That was nuts.
Crazy.
You look at Rampage, which had 38 minutes out of 1 hour,
That's
and
good.
then you look at Collision, which had 67 minutes out of 2 hours. So the actual totals for AEW was 166 minutes out of 5 hours this week, and WWE had 89 minutes out of 5 hours this week.
So the TV's kind of averaging around 43% wrestling, and then the rest is just promos and stories
commercials.
and the commercials. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's interesting. I mean, it makes a lot of sense, but also it's like, you know, it's not a lot of wrestling going on. You know, it's more like, you know, like we were saying, it's more about the entertainment of everything. You know, making it, you know, making the story go, making, you know, so maybe this is a turning point for AEW where they kind of focus more on the wrestling rather than, you know, than everything else, you know.
Right.
Y'all think that's a good thing or a bad thing? Those numbers.
I
mean,
don't
again,
hate it.
Because the SmackDown shit's kind of crazy. That 2
The
hours.
SmackDown shit's nuts. That's
SmackDown
a
was
lot.
nuts.
But, I mean,
Yeah.
I think it should stay at a healthy 55-60% wrestling. If you
Yeah.
if you-
Yeah. I
like
agree.
I really think like you should be in that. You got to be above 500. You got to be above 50% in order of just wrestling in order for me to, you know, really, you know, fully enjoy it. I'd say I'm not saying I'm not enjoying it right now, but I just think it's like, you know, this is what we're watching it for, and we're only getting it average 40% of the time. Like that's not good.
I feel like that it goes back to the same thing that I said before. Like if you don't have at least a good amount of wrestling on here,
Yeah.
then what are they here for? The whole point is that you go out there, you
Right.
have a match, you win, you lose. You get championships, you get money. If that is not there, then the core of wrestling, it's just a TV show. It's just people interacting in the backstage. You know?
Hey, look at it too. I bet the pay-per-view numbers are way bigger and better.
yeah,
you know what I mean? So it's like you're not dealing with all the fluff in the pay-per-view and stuff like that. And you kind of would think they kind of do that a little more, you know, like in their day-to-day programming, but it doesn't look like they do. So
well, I mean that's always been the whole point, though. Like with like when Vince would talk about it, especially like in the early '90s and the '80s and stuff, like the TV. What happened on the TV? They were just putting minimal effort in because the whole point is to try to get you to pay for that pay-per-view, which is where they're going to give you the match and the payoff. So
right.
I feel like it's kind of a holdover from that, even though, you know, obviously it's been 30 years and wrestling has changed. But I still feel like it's kind of a holdover from that mindset.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing because, like I said, we're watching it every week, so it's not like we're losing. They're not like losing viewers. I wouldn't think because it's just there's no wrestling going on. Like I don't think that's it.
Until we saw those numbers.
I didn't notice. Yeah, I mean that's.
Yeah.
I mean I'll probably pay attention to it now.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, oh my god, they're not even wrestling right now.
I'll pay attention, but I don't think I'll complain.
Yeah.
No, I'll notice it now because I'll just be like, damn, they're really not doing any wrestling right now. They're just talking like. You know, they got Renee interviewing and, you know, the some sort of vignette or whatever it is. And so like, damn, like they're really not wrestling right now. But what's next? Final big match. I just want to do what's best for the company. It's a final big match. And it's just that time. All right, we interfere with the product to let everyone know that this chapter is over. I mean, do y'all think this happening soon? I don't think so.
I think so.
So
really?
Here's what I think should happen because I don't usually I would say, hey, he should probably lose to a young guy and get him over. But that didn't go so well for Austin Theory.
Nope.
So same week that he says this, Randy Orton comes out and somebody asks him what's his dream WrestleMania match, and he says John Cena. And he goes, I don't really know how you get us there, but you know, that would be my dream WrestleMania opponent. So why not have that happen this year?
Yeah.
Have Cena come back at some point or whenever. I mean, at this point, we're only 2 months away, but I guess you could still make it happen.
Do it.
If Cena's, schedule is open. But have him come back or whatever and have Randy go after him. And then just say, like, hey, you might be done, but I'm still here. Yeah. And you're a legend, and I'm the legend killer. So, you know, we started our career together. We've been rivals the entire time.
Yep.
I'll finish you at WrestleMania, and then that'll be his last match.
I think Randy's the perfect opponent for John Cena.
Yeah.
I definitely don't hate that.
I mean, we used to complain and tell WWE stop putting these motherfuckers like in matches. That's how many times. That's how long our history goes. And like you said, they came up together. I saw Randy Orton and John Cena's first televised matches. I saw them both. I know you did too, Hambo.
I think the only issue with that is, like, if you do that, then you're kind of making Randy out to be the heel. And right now he's still on such a babyface run for being gone for so long. And I don't think that, WWE would want to turn him already. But
do you think that story needs a babyface in the heel?
I don't.
No, I don't think so. But I think that if you did something like that, I mean, maybe not. I was going to say naturally, I feel like the fans would turn on Randy, but I suppose that you could do it in a way that they wouldn't. You could always just have it be like a respect thing, and just have Randy come out and say, look, I respect you, but you're a legend and I'm the legend killer and we started our career together and I'm going to end yours, and just be straight up about it. Not like, oh, I'm a heel, I'm going to sneak around and attack you and all that. You could just have him come out and say, hey, this is a match that we need to have for our entire history together.
Yeah. And
I'm not going to, go easy on you because you're planning to leave or whatever.
Right.
You think that you think the fans will turn on Randy, or you think the fans will be divided?
Not if you did it that way. I think if Randy comes out and he's just like, yeah, I'm just going to start going after you and attacking you and RKOing you out of nowhere all the time, and just doing the sleazy Randy Orton stuff, then yeah, they're naturally going to turn.
Well,
But if you have him just go to John directly, face to face, respectfully, and say, "Hey, this is what it is. Like, I'm the legend killer. You're a legend. I'm gonna end you."
see, I kind of I like 75% agree. And I say 75 because it's like, I don't know, Randy kind of at this point almost has that like Steve Austin effect. Because I had this talk with Jeff at his house. And I mean, y'all let me know how y'all feel, but it feels like, because with Austin, it was like it almost got to a point where like it didn't matter where he was babyface or heel. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
sure.
Austin was one of those guys who will like
Yeah.
he'll beat anybody up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it was like, even when he was doing like some heel shit, it almost like the fans kind of just didn't give a fuck. And I feel like, yeah, he probably would get a good number of like boos for being a douchebag, but I feel like it'd be very, very mixed, because some fans don't give a fuck whether he's good or bad. They're just not
Sure.
what he's doing.
Yeah.
That shit. But
Yeah.
I still like, for the most part, I do agree with that. I had another point. I lost it, but it's all good.
Yeah, a match this big, especially if it's seen as final match.
Sorry. Before I lose it. I guess to add to your point, I think that what would make the fans want to boo Randy in this situation is because of the fact that it is Cena's final match.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. Especially if you're going into it like, well, that's the stipulation. If John doesn't win here, then his career is over, which I think is what you have to do, because if you're just going into it and saying, "Oh yeah, this is my last match," then well, whatever. Who cares? There's no stakes at that point. You got to go into it and say, "Oh well, if Randy beats him, then his career is over."
Yeah, you got to attach it with like even if Cena's already made the decision, like, hey, I want to be out the door, like, do it in a way that kind of gives the fans the feeling of like, all right, we don't want that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. What were you gonna say, Nick?
I was saying that a match this big, especially for being Cena's final match, I don't think it needs a heel or a face or anything like that. I don't think that dynamic's needed. I honestly, my opinion on heels and faces being involved is probably a little lax compared to everybody else, like other wrestling fans. I sometimes I just don't think it's necessary.
I don't think it is either.
To tell a type of story.
2024.
Yeah, to tell a type of story. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're usually a bad guy or usually a good guy. Like, if there's a story there, I don't think it matters. But especially with this, I think it's just straight up just, this is what, especially if that's what Cena wants. Like, I'm all for, if it's your final match, you should get the match you want.
Right.
And if Cena comes down and is like, I'm gonna fight Randy, then it don't matter why. Like, that's just what he wants. Like, that's good enough for me. Like, and I know it's going to be a good match. It's like the same with the Sting thing. Like, if Sting wants the Young Bucks, it's going to be a good match. I'm okay with it.
I was going to say, give whoever it is, whoever they want for the last match.
Yeah.
Unless it's the Young Bucks.
Well, I mean, if it's a good match, though, which I feel like it will be. Like,
yeah, it will
put on a dope ass match. Don't get me wrong, but like, I would prefer somebody else for Sting. But if that's what Sting and Darby want, then it's what they get. That's got nothing to do with me, and I'm gonna have a good time watching it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this sucks.
Yeah.
And if he is out, as somebody who is going to WrestleMania, I'm going to be very upset, because I was definitely looking forward to this and Punk.
I saw something. I think somebody in our group chat said something along the lines of. That somebody said along the lines of like, well, he did this a couple years ago where he tore his MCL or something like that, and he came back within 2 months. First of all, I don't condone that shit at all. Listen, I'm a fucking football fan. MCL, ACL is not something to fuck with. Especially if it's torn, and a partially torn meniscus too. Like, bro, you got two things going on.
Yeah.
You need to go sit down somewhere.
I saw that somebody math about it, talking about some an MCL normally takes like 3 to 4 months to heal. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about all that, and I don't really know if you're a doctor. I'm gonna wait to hear from him on Monday for him to determine how bad it is. But I'm not gonna let some fucking guy who took sports medicine his senior year trying to tell us what the fuck's going on with this guy.
Right.
Yeah, because I mean, it could be a little less serious than what Fightful Select found out. I mean, we're not sure if this is exactly what happened. We're only going to know until WWE or Seth Rollins or both tells us what's going on. So this could be a little more exaggerated, I could say. I'm not saying they're wrong. I just say it's exaggerated.
Right.
But if it is this is definitely within the 4 to 6 month range of you need to go sit down somewhere. Like,
Yeah.
and I honestly, like, if I'm predicting right now, if I'm betting on it right now, he's definitely going to drop the title, I think, on Monday. I think he's going to vacate it. I don't know what they're going to do with it, but I honestly think that's what's going to happen, because I think he's supposed to kick off Monday Night Raw tomorrow. So that's going to be, I think that's what they're just doing. They're going to rip the Band-Aid off, and he's just going to go off, and we'll see him maybe at SummerSlam or something.
The question is, if he does vacate it, and because I read something earlier that said that WWE was saying that Rollins and Punk was still on at this point. That was still the plan.
Okay.
So the question is, if he does vacate it, and Punk is the guy who's going to WrestleMania as the number one contender, who does he fight?
If you're asking me about what they do if he vacates the title, I mean, every time I hear about a vacated title, I just think tournament.
Me
Like,
too.
get these guys into a tournament, and and that's what they did to Ford in the first place. So it's like, we're doing
Right.
it again. So it's like, okay,
Right. But my point is, who's big enough on Raw to stand across the ring from CM Punk in a WrestleMania main event? That's what I'm saying. Because I don't feel right now there is anybody on that show.
The only two people that I think of, and like,
Other than Cody, but I don't think they're doing Cody for this.
I was gonna say, the only two people that come to mind that I could see them doing a main event with. I'm not saying that they big, so let me get that out the way. But like, if Seth is injured and he vacates his title, the only two people that come to mind that they would do this with is Cody or Drew. And the only reason why I say Drew is because Drew came out and told him that he wanted smoke. And I figured if they wanted that continuity, then they'd probably do that. But other than that, nah, I can't think of anybody else. Maybe Jay. For me, that's just me. Maybe Jay, because he's been white hot. But aside from him, Cody and Drew, that's really just about it. Unless they bring someone else in, which I don't think they do that.
I don't know.
I would go ahead, Nick.
I was gonna say, is Randy's on SmackDown, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So no, not that. I mean, honestly, if we're going back to John Cena's retirement match, Randy, Punk, and Cena for that
Punk
title,
and Cena,
that would
that
be
could
fun.
happen. That would also work.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Because both of them, all three of them, can still go. So that would be real. And throw this title in the middle of it. I mean, I'm down. So like, I'm really down for that. So if that happens,
I'd like to see that.
I'm all for that one right there. But if I'm picking somebody, I mean, are we talking about Punk for the title, or are we talking about just Punk in general for WrestleMania?
I'm talking about Punk for the title, because I think you take Seth out of it, their plan is still, well, Punk's in that main event for the title. Who are we putting across from him?
Yeah.
Whether he's the champion or not, or nobody's the champion, you're going into WrestleMania to figure out.
Title.
Right.
Okay. Damien? I don't know. I don't know if I want to see that all the way, but I mean,
especially not at Mania in the main event.
Like, nah.
Yeah.
That's just the opposite.
Yeah.
Like,
So let me throw two options at you guys.
Good.
Yeah.
First one, Brock Lesnar comes back. Brock and Punk.
I'm good.
I might be on board for that.
I'd be on board for it if Punk beats him.
I did like that. Yeah, if Punk beats
Punk
him.
has to beat him.
Yeah,
Punk wins.
I'm on board with that.
So here's my other one. Sami Zayn.
Tell me why.
I'm way more for that one.
Tell me why.
I mean, Sammy has been, one of the most popular superstars for a couple years now. He was definitely just starting, before this whole Drew thing, just starting a new thing where, hey, I'm going to be world champion. Like I know that I'm not supposed to be, but I'm going to be world champion. So imagine he comes back at the Rumble.
You're good at talking me into an idea, so that's why I asked.
Yeah. So imagine he comes back at the Rumble. I'm assuming that Sammy's probably going to come back at the Rumble. My whole thought was,
is he injured right now?
Is he injured?
No, they just did an injury storyline between him and Drew.
Oh, I missed all that.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. All right, go on,
Right.
go on.
So my thought was he was going to come back at the Rumble, eliminate Drew. That's going to set them up for Mania, just in a grudge match. But if you're in this situation, why not throw that out the window and have Sammy somehow get involved? If you're going to have Cody win the Rumble so that he has a logical reason to go after Roman, who's on a different show, then
Yeah.
why not have at some point Sammy eliminates Punk, takes away his WrestleMania plans, and then maybe Punk has to win the Elimination Chamber to get to WrestleMania, and then somehow you work it in between. Okay, well now somehow we get Punk and Sammy,
I like that.
and whoever wins is the world champion.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on board with that. Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to see that for
Yeah,
sure. Way more than Brock, for my opinion. I'm just so over Brock.
And
I'm
know
sure
what?
We'll see Brock at Rumble, but
I'm also going to say this too. As a Punk mark, if it was against Sammy, I'd rather see Sammy win.
me too. Me too.
Give him his moment at a Mania, become a world champion. Punk's been a world champion before.
Yeah.
Punk doesn't need to be world champion, at least not now.
And we don't know how long he's going to be there, but I feel like he's going to be there for more than a year.
Also,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
For sure good at
Yeah.
that. So,
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm on board with that.
Yeah, I'm not against Punk not getting a title for a couple of years. I'm
not
good.
right
Like,
away.
Yeah, sure.
But, now if he's here like 3 years from now and he still hasn't done anything, it's like, okay, what are we doing?
Right.
We gotta give him something.
Right.
U.S. title, something, bro. Something, because
Honestly, I don't expect him to get the title right away. Because
no, I don't either.
It sounds like the whole story is for him to main event WrestleMania and also win at WrestleMania. And he just got back, and WrestleMania is right around the corner. I don't think we're gonna get that full circle story that quick. Anyway,
especially with this. I mean, this whole this is the whole reason we're even discussing this is that Seth Rollins. I mean, I think we were getting that. I don't know if Punk would win there, but I think that was the plan, was to have Seth and Punk at Mania, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
if I don't know if they were having Punk beat him there, but I think
I think that would have been the plan.
that
Have Punk beat him, become world champion, and then Seth can go heel because he's fucked up. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, that's very true.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
All right. You guys want to, because I threw it on here, you want to look at a little drip and drag? We haven't done
do
it.
it.
Okay, yeah.
Let's do it.
Hold on. Not that one yet. Do that one.
Oh, Willow,
I'm going to buy it because I think it's funny.
you're nuts.
I don't know.
She's riding
Can't
a
hide-
unicorn.
Can't hide money, bro. That's all I'm saying.
That shit is hot garbage, and I love Willow, but that's
like
I'm looking at pure trash right there.
that's like when you see like a 60-year-old white woman in Walmart, like she's wearing this shirt right here. Yeah, it's like faded and like she's got pajama pants on. It's
I was
good off of this, bro.
I was just thinking to myself too, like, why have they not come up with more merchandise for her? And then this is what they dropped.
This is the best they can come up with.
Huh?
This is the best they can come up with.
I mean, I get it.
I don't.
I get why they did it, like with Willow's character and everything. It's not. Is it a good shirt? I'm not saying that.
It's so.
I'm just saying I get it.
Also, so fucking just like
Campy, bro.
It's not campy to me. It's just like it looks like no effort and like too much effort at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all right.
Trash. Okay.
Drag.
Right.
All right.
But you're still gonna buy it, which is insanity.
I'm probably not. I think you just talked me out of it. I just wanted to because I love Willow so much.
Nah, bro. You can wait for a better shirt, bro. She'll have more shirts. I don't hate this.
I don't hate it either.
I don't
I like the big design. I like the whole colorful thing. I even like how big the back design is. They're usually not that big on the back with WWE designs. Usually just like a little small thing up by the collar. So
Yeah.
I like this.
Nice. Yeah, this is cool. I don't know if I'd buy it personally, but it's cool.
You know what I think would make me buy more of these shirts too is if they just weren't all on a black fucking t-shirt.
They're all black t-shirts. All black or all white.
Yeah.
That's
It always just looks like they just took a fucking decal and slapped it on a shirt. Like if you did something with like if this was like acid washed in the background or something like that, I'd be like, oh, that's a cool fucking shirt. But just on here, like as much as I like the design, that's what it looks like to me. Looks like somebody made a decal and just
It
slapped
screams
it on
low
there.
effort.
Yeah.
So that's a WWE problem because Shop AEW you can change most of the time you can change the color of the shirt. Like most of the time, like you can get like a black or a gray or something like that, and then you can make like a long sleeve or a hoodie.
I don't
Like
think changing the color of the shirt would even make me buy this shirt. I don't.
No.
I don't hate it, but there's some. I don't know if I don't like. I don't know if I'm with Hambone on because it's on a black T-shirt or if it's like the logo itself. But something about this is like making me like. I don't hate it, but something about this shirt is making me say like I wouldn't buy it, and I'm not sure what it is.
Okay.
I think it's a lot.
It's
a lot for me.
There's a lot happening on
It's
it.
the same thing as the last shirt. It's a lot, but also like little at the same time.
Yeah, it's too much and too little at the same time. Yeah.
Overall, what are we saying here then?
I'm dragging it.
Because I wouldn't wear it, it's a drag.
Yeah, I think I'm dragging it too.
Yeah. Sorry, Santos.
Your first shirt, not working.
That's his first shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been around for a couple of years. Well, not really. A year maybe.
Yes, man.
You know, they just took everybody in the LWO and lumped it into an LWO shirt.
That's true.
So
oh, that is a Proud Boy ass shirt, boy. I'll tell you what.
Ain't
Boy, I'll tell you what.
I love Cody.
$60?
Ain't
Oh, hell
no
no.
fucking way I'm wearing this.
$60 for that, bro?
For me, right? If it was just now, this I'd be okay if it was just like a black or a white, just baseball tee with the logo. Like I'd be okay with that. But this, like you said, this is some very
Listen, I'd be all right.
Town for me.
I'd be all right. Yeah, don't try that in a small town shit.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with this if it was just American Nightmare on the front, the logo on the back. That shit down the side,
no,
that makes it like some Proud Boy shit.
Around the collar going down. I'm not feeling that.
Yeah,
but like
no, that's like
just actually for real. I'd take the American Nightmare shit off too because I don't like.
I would too.
I would just be cool if it was just the logo was the only thing in color, and then everything else was either solid black or solid white. But this, this
if the logo,
this feels offensive.
Yeah, it's very offensive.
Here's the thing:
if you put the logo right here on the chest, like just the one right there, and
I'd be cool
the
with
same
that.
logo on the back, I'd be cool with it.
Sure,
but it's a lot. It's a lot.
If I buy this and wear this at a non-wrestling event, I know exactly what everybody who sees me thinks about me.
Fuck yeah!
And I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
not doing it.
Hulk Hogan fan.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, thanks Stone Cold Steve Austin in The Longest Yard.
There you go. Yeah.
All right, one more.
All right, now question, because I saw this and something. Maybe I'm nitpicking about it, but I saw this, and the bottom says okay. So Claudio says "violent by design." I thought they all said that.
Yeah, they all do.
No, the one is violent by and then something else.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
so
Choice.
All right,
nature. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. At first, I thought all the shirts said "violent by design," and when I saw it, I was like, "Ain't that fucking Cody Jenner thing?" I know the design.
Eric Young's.
They were called "Violent by Design" when Eric Young was on it. So that was my own little like naggy thing, but I see that they're all different. So
yeah.
So this idea apparently came directly from Claudio because I saw before they released these weeks. It's been a while since I saw this. It's been a couple weeks before they released these. I saw a interview with Claudio, and they were just talking about merch, and he was like, we've all been tossing around this idea of having shirts with something that is extremely innocent on it, and then crossing it with something violent. Like a cartoon character or something, and then this is what they came up with.
Okay.
I would not wear these.
No, like this is for like your kid who watches wrestling. Like
sure. Yeah.
Like even with the violenceness of it, it's still a kid shirt in my opinion. It's a youth medium shirt, bro. Like I'm all right. Yeah, it's a squirrel, like a fox. And what is that? Chipmunk.
An elephant, and then I believe that's actually a flying squirrel for you to.
Oh, look at that! Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah, you're right. You'd wear it?
I'd wear with what I have in my closet. Yeah, with this, I could definitely freak that. Something about it is throwing me off a little bit. maybe it's the Dare looking font. Like the bloody part gives it an edge for me, but it just reminds me of Dare, the Dare t-shirts kind of.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
lot.
So that's making me a little bit hesitant, but I actually would rock these.
It's bubble letters with drippy blood. Like it's not like
The
Font-
blood. Oddly enough, the blood is what's appealing to me. But yeah, the font just gives me Dare vibes.
Of all people to say, hey, you know what's appealing to me about this? The blood.
the blood.
I like the concept, like the way you said that they broke it down. I think that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with it.
All right, I'm dragging it. Nick, what are you saying?
I'm also dragging it.
It's a drift for me.
Okay. All right. All right. So now I feel like we should do our Royal Rumble predictions because there's only 4 things to predict.
Which is nuts.
And then,
but
yeah, it is.
But
and then we can
I'm with
take,
it.
you know, most of our time for the bracket.
A twist.
So,
A twist.
Royal Rumble.
mhm.
My favorite pay-per-view of the year, by the way.
You got that spreadsheet ready?
Real quick.
Yeah.
Let's take a little bit of a side quest that is relevant to this.
Okay.
So, as we talked about in the pod, I went back home to Virginia this past weekend to go see my dad. He has surgery. Shouts out to dad. And if you didn't know before, I grew up in a wrestling family. When I say wrestling family, I mean like we all watched wrestling. I think the only one that does not watch is my sister. And even then, recently, we can even dive into that too, Hambone, because I told it to Nick, but you'd appreciate it more because it was very, very funny. So let me start with my sister. This is just me talking to my parents and my family about wrestling, just doing an update on where they're at with it. Okay. Let's start off with my sister. Shouts out Chantel. So Chantel, when growing up, she's my younger sister. Growing up, she watched during like the Ruthless Aggression era. Pretty sure like Brock Lesnar was her favorite wrestler. She used to really love that shit, and then she kind of fell out with it. But every couple of years, she'll try to get back into it, and it's really fun to hear where she's at with it, and see her react to shit. So she texted me last week. She was like, she asked me about somebody, man. Oh. She asked me, she goes, who's the Velvet Dream? I go, oh boy, you mean the Velveteen Dream? She goes, yeah. So I break that down to her. And she goes, you ready for this, Ham? She goes, I didn't know Crash Holly died. I was like,
It's only been like 15 years.
right? Like I'm not, because I don't know when's the last time she's watched, right? So she talked about that, and she goes, "Yeah, I didn't know." She was like, she said something like, "I didn't know that Macho Man Randy Savage died." I'm like, "Yo, when's the last time you watched?" She was like, "Since like middle school." I was like, "Gotcha."
Sure. Yeah.
But she just asked me questions. She just asked me questions about like just certain things, and she's like, "I ain't gonna lie, the acting's kind of corny." I'm like, "It's definitely a lot campier nowadays," but. For the most part, it's like if you get past that, it's in the best place that it's been right now. Now's the greatest time to start watching. So, we had a little conversation about that, which was nice. I hope she gets back into it because I think her as a wrestling fan will be fantastic. I hope she gets back into it. So that's where she's at with it.
And if we're just since we're on the side quest about it being campy and everything, I think that WWE is starting to pull away from that a little bit.
I think so too.
Triple H is doing all of these, especially I just read that they started doing this because Kevin Dunn is gone now, because Kevin Dunn would have poo-pooed all of these segments, like the one with Pete and Tyler Bate at the speakeasy or whatever, and the one with Caden and Katana at the rave. Like Kevin Dunn apparently always shot anything like that down. If it didn't happen in the arena, it wasn't going on TV. But now he's gone. Triple H is in charge, and we're starting to see stuff like that come through, which I think will be good to add to the realness factor of it.
Yeah.
These people aren't always just in a ring.
Yeah.
They have other shit that they do.
My shit, bro. God damn it. Fucking damn. But so that's where I'm at with her. So I talked to my parents, and when they met, the way they were in the army and the way they would meet was they would like their camps in the army would just order wrestling pay-per-views, and I think that's how they like got closer. But like they just brought that to me. But so I'm talking to them. My dad is a WWE diehard, right? And my mom, she'll watch WWE and AEW. She likes both. they both used to watch TNA back, like when like Dixie Carter was still in charge and stuff like that. They both used to watch that, so they're familiar with like a good pool of wrestlers. But just to talk to them, because I haven't seen them in a while, but they're telling me who they like, and thank God for this picture because I can tell you right now who they all like and who they don't like for the most part. So, and my boy Jeff's dad too. But we're just gonna stick with my parents. So, my mom is sick and tired of Bianca Belair. She says she doesn't like her.
What?
Too many flips and too much
Wow.
smiling. That's her. That's
Damn.
what it is. Too many
Wow.
flips, too much smiling. She's not with that.
What?
Okay.
That's crazy.
My mom's two favorite wrestlers, I can tell you right now off the top of my head, her two favorite wrestlers, and I feel like I've said it before, Booker T and
Uh-huh.
The Miz. My mom is
It is.
my mom loves
That is an odd combo right there.
it starts off with just them being funny.
Okay.
And not to mention, like, we've seen Booker T wrestle, bro. He could wrestle his ass off. But with Miz, I think what really appeal to her was just the fact that, like, in an untraditional way, how he became a wrestler. She loves the story, him being a reality star and then becoming a wrestler. So that, I think, was her foundation of why she likes the Miz. But she just also thinks that he's really, really funny. And on top of everything he's done, she just has like a really just like deep appreciation for him. So she's a Miz fan. They don't like CM Punk. I don't think either of them like CM Punk.
Okay.
They're tired of Roman. They're very, very tired of Roman. My mom likes AJ Styles. My dad loves Cody Rhodes and Becky Lynch.
Yo, can we go back to the what's the word I want to use?
Yeah.
There's been that whole thing for a while about how Cody Rhodes is going to end racism.
What?
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
I've seen it.
Because he's got a black wife,
Sure.
and then they had a kid, which they named Liberty, and like,
Really?
yeah. And Cody's always like doing stuff, I guess, that has to do with like ending racism. So the joke in the internet community has always been, "Oh, Cody Rhodes is going to end racism."
Shit.
Bro, what was that tweet? Someone put a tweet in our group chat that said that Cody Rhodes' Martin Luther King Jr. Day speech is gonna make me run through a fucking wall or something like that. I died so hard. I was like, "Hey, yo!" I was like, "That's really fucking funny." And then like it's like he literally kicked off Raw, I think that night too. And I was like, "Oh shit,
Yeah.
I'm ready to go."
Yep.
But yeah, that's who they like. Also, my mom loves Dominic Mysterio. She absolutely loves Dominic Mysterio. So,
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
Tom
who
or
doesn't?
Nick?
Excuse me.
Tom or Nick?
I said what I said. But
All right, so the Royal Rumble is this Saturday, the 27th.
Mm-hmm.
Looking forward to it.
Very much so.
It'll be a good match.
There's not a bad match on the card this right now.
Yeah.
There's not. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna announce probably one more, because this is fire. Yeah.
I got KO.
Huh? KO?
Yeah.
Logan.
Really?
Yeah, I am still calling that Logan loses the United States title to LA Knight at WrestleMania. That is my prediction. So.
That'd be
Okay.
tight.
You know what? Yeah. All right. So never mind. I'm gonna change it.
Change it?
Wait, no.
Hamilton has a way of persuasion.
I do, right?
I'm doubling down. Let me rock with KO.
Okay.
KO?
I'm rock with KO.
He'll regret that.
I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. I love Kevin Owens.
My gut really wants to say KO, but I'm not saying he doesn't deserve a title. That's not what I'm saying right now. I just think there's other people who should have this title. It's definitely not Logan Paul. But I also don't feel like Kevin Owens is the guy right now either to have a title. The
guy who got Stone Cold Steve Austin out of retirement and wrestling him in WrestleMania?
Listen, I love KO. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here fucking kicking KO or anything. It's just like I'd rather see like LA Knight with it. I'd rather see other people with that title. So I'm gonna say Logan. I think they like having him be somewhat of a face of this company right now. And I don't think they're ready to just because this is like his first defense. No, I don't know if they're gonna do that right away like that. I mean, he's had it for 2 months, but I don't think he's really, done anything, defended it at all. So I'm probably gonna say Logan.
U.S. champion.
You said what?
Now we got a part-time U.S. champion.
That's true.
And a part-time world champion.
That's true.
That's true.
I'm rocking with KO.
I kind of hope you're right. I really do.
Because if win or lose, Logan might show up the night after the Rumble. He might show up on Monday.
Right.
But win or lose, we're probably going to see KO.
I hear you.
See KO.
Right.
But I could be wrong, but I'm gonna roll with KO.
I don't hope that you're right. Mostly because here's the thing. I love KO. He's literally one of my favorite wrestlers of the past 10 to 20 years.
Same.
But I feel like LA Knight is so hot right now, and they're not going to put him in the world title picture yet. They got to keep him hot. What would be hotter than him versus Logan, a guy who every fucking fan hates at WrestleMania, and LA Knight is finally the one to take it off of him.
Oh, I agree with you.
That's the thing too. Is
it would be crazy.
If you get this to KO, you're in my head. You got to keep him with it for a long time.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think he loses it at Mania time. He might lose it like in SummerSlam. Like he's got to have this title for a while before you take it off of him. So
right.
Yeah.
And even if you do that, even if you gave it to KO, and then you go, all right, so what's the bigger match at WrestleMania? Is it KO versus LA Knight for the US title, or is it KO versus Logan Paul?
Right.
Logan Paul is going to be on WrestleMania. They're not going to not have him on
absolutely.
there with the attention that he brings.
Absolutely.
So it seems like that's the place to make him drop it.
Listen, I agree with
LA Knight is hotter than Kevin Owens is right now.
I love Kevin Owens, so that's
so do I.
I just
Sure. All right.
Who's gonna win?
Yeah, I wonder.
Man, if it ain't a sure bet.
I don't even know what to say. Like, there's
I don't know.
what is there to even discuss here? We all know what's gonna happen. No
I
way.
honestly just think we're biding time, and like it really sucks because it's like there's guys like LA Knight and fucking all these guys are like we just know they don't have a chance.
Right.
And it's really kind of awful.
Just looking at this is a crazy match, right?
I'm saying
we know who's gonna win, so it's like it kind of kills it for me.
If this match was 2 years ago, oh my goodness.
Right.
Now, LA Knight was as hot 2 years ago, but I'm saying, if LA Knight was as hot and this happened 2 years ago,
right,
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't even guess. I would not even guess.
Yeah.
Like I'd be like, nope, I'm not making a prediction because I have no fucking clue. Today, it's the surest bet I've ever made in my life.
Yeah.
And it really sucks. And I kind of hope I'm wrong.
Right. And with saying that, like I said, like what more is there to say here? There's not really anything to discuss because we all know how this ends.
Yeah,
right.
And it's still going to be an excellent match, but
absolutely,
what takes me out of it is just knowing that Roman's going to win.
Yeah, and it's going to be like that for at least 3 months.
Yeah.
Which really, like, and that really.
Well, I mean, he's not going to wrestle anymore after this, I'm sure, until Mania.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't think?
No. Nah.
Okay. I mean, I agree with you. I just would hope not. Yeah, unfortunately.
The Women's Royal Rumble.
So this is interesting prediction-wise because we don't even know who's in it. I think there's only like 5 people announced for this one, which is, by the way, they've done a really good job with Royal Rumble this year. They've only announced like 14 people total for both Royal Rumbles. It's really dope that they've kept under wraps. And there was only 6 men announced, and then I think Otis and Alpha Academy all announced that they're going to be in it. So now it's 9, but it's like, and again, I think me and Connor had this conversation, like, we know some people are going to be in this Rumble. It's not like, like we know, like we could have told you the Bianca and Nia Jax are going to be in this Rumble.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have to announce it. But
yeah, I'm tired of that.
Yeah. Like tell me like John Cena's going to be in it. But then again, don't tell me because I want the surprise
to be in there. But like that whole thing that they've kind of gotten in the habit of doing every year where like everybody on the roster is like, all right, I'm just going to come out and just make my announcement. It's like, we know.
Yeah.
We know.
But they've done a way better job of doing it because I think last year
Chad Gable's going to be in the Rumble. We
Right.
know these guys are going to be in there. Give me
Right,
something
yeah.
that I'm not expecting, and don't give me too many names. You know what I mean? Just let it be a surprise for the most part.
Yeah. I think after Monday, it's hard to not say Becky because clearly that's where they're going, Becky and Rhea. So
That too.
I'm going with Becky.
Okay.
I feel like they gave us that segment and they showed us like, well, this is who's winning. So
I feel like it's going to be Becky. I don't want it to be. I really don't. Who I want is Nia, but who I think is going to be is Becky.
Was Becky your pick?
Yeah, Becky's my pick.
I am gonna say Liv Morgan.
So if Becky hadn't said that, Liv was one of my choices because her and Rhea have history. She's been gone a long time. I could see Liv winning it and then beating Rhea at the Rumble or
My
at
thoughts
Mania.
exactly. I think my thoughts exactly. I think this is a swerve. I think they're pushing Becky and Rhea on us to make us not even think about it.
God.
But I want to see. You said what?
I'd rather see Becky versus Rhea.
Really? Oh, you don't like Liv?
I think Liv more. I don't want to sound like.
I mean, I'm not a huge Liv fan too. I think the bigger match would definitely be Rhea and Becky. But I mean, I don't really want to see that match either. But I'm not big on Liv Morgan. I've never gotten why everybody's obsessed with her.
Everyone loves her, and there's just I don't react when I see her at all.
Everyone loves her until she's champion, and then they turn on her, which is why.
Well, I mean, I don't even think that was her fault though. That was WWE's fault and how they handled
her at all.
Yeah,
it's just what it is. Like they like her all the way until she gets the big push, and then it's over. I don't get that. I don't understand fans who are like that.
I don't think it's the fans. I think it's WWE. The way that they handled her being the champion after wasn't interesting.
Yeah, I got a bad habit of that too.
Yeah.
So,
I don't care.
yeah.
What are you eating, Nick?
I'm eating pizza. Very simple tonight.
Delivery.
Do you guys think?
Oh no.
Had a boy.
No ad though. It's actually just a random frozen box. You know.
Word.
No. There's no brand name on it. You know.
You don't put
It
nothing
could be right there though.
cheese in then?
Huh?
You don't put no Parmesan cheese, no red pepper?
I put red pepper flakes and Parmesan cheese on
Oh,
mine.
man, there you go. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. Gotta have that.
Nice.
Do you guys think that? What are you guys thinking as far as like unannounced surprises for the women's?
Oh,
Obviously, Liv. I agree with Liv. Liv will be one of them.
Liv. I think. God, I can't remember her fucking name now. Trinity. I can't remember Naomi.
Trinity.
Yep.
Yeah. Naomi. Bailey keeps teasing Mercedes, but I don't know. I know.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I really don't. But like, it just Bailey keeps pushing it.
Yeah.
Like something's gonna happen with her, and I really don't think so.
I'm thinking that we could see Trish come back. Could see Lita in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is Lita good?
Big prediction. AJ Lee.
I
CM
saw
Punk is
AJ
back
Lee's
there.
photo. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
I'd mark out if AJ won.
Ah,
And I'd be all right with her winning too.
I'm so sorry, bro. Like just the names y'all have said, just I could go to bed right now. I could go right now.
You got something better?
He wants Nia.
Yeah, no.
Which nobody else would agree with you
To be
on.
honest with you, I don't really care to come up with something better, to be honest with you. Like I know who I want. I simply just want Nia. That's really it. I want Nia to win. I don't really care too much about the surprise because most of the women wrestlers that I like don't work for WWE anyway. You know what I mean? Like,
I was about to say
and,
that's a
like, out of all the women wrestlers in WWE, I love Rhea. Like I'm a big Rhea Ripley fan. So to me, it's just if it's not Nia, I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like I am looking forward to the surprises, but like the ones that you named, like I agree. There's like Mercedes, like I'd be excited to see Trinity actually. Like I'd actually be cool with Trinity showing up and winning. Like that's one that I'd love to see. Like I've never been a fan of Liv Morgan. I've never been a fan of Mercedes. Like I hear the names, I'm just like, oh my fucking god. And I'm not a fan of Becky Lynch. You see what I'm saying? Just those names in particular don't do it for me. I would like to see Bailey win. As a matter of fact, that's another one I want to see win.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, like Bailey, Nia, or Trinity. I'm cool with that. But like, I'm good on Becky. I'm good on Liv. I'm good on Sasha or Mercedes or whatever she goes by when she comes back.
I think your reaction is a big testament of how this women's division is, because I mean I agree with you, the long way of like this women's division's not.
It doesn't
exciting.
excite me. The WWE's
Yeah.
women's division just overall just really doesn't excite me, man. Like
I'm way more excited about who could be there, like who could show up, like that's kind of like like a Mickey James type of like show, like surprise or something like that would be really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know who that would be, but it's that's what I'm excited to see this match for. That's really about it. I like as far as who wins it, like honestly, if you're asking me right now, whoever wins is not beating Rhea. I don't care who it is.
Really?
Oh yeah, no.
Well, hold on, because I just thought of this.
Okay.
Let me throw it at you.
Mm-hmm.
Jade Cargill.
Nope. That'd be cool. I don't think she beats Rhea.
Yeah, it'd be cool, but well, at the same time though, they said that she would only come back if they felt like she was ready. So I would imagine that if she came back, she'd be ready for something.
Well, I guess so. So to that though, my whole point is, what was the whole point of having her on TV at all then? You had her on TV every single week for like a month and a half, and then took her right off completely. Haven't heard a damn thing from her since.
This is just my theory. I don't know. Like, I really don't know. But what I feel like happened was maybe she did like some sort of rehearsal or something, and then somebody spoke up and was like, you know what? Maybe we kind of jumped the gun. It could have been that, but I don't fucking know.
My thought process was they took her off TV so that we'd forget. And then come the Royal Rumble, she could be a surprise entrant that nobody's expecting.
I don't think that works because we're all just like us three are sitting here. I feel like a lot of people are like, where the fuck is she?
Yeah, no, my process is that
she's still on our minds. You know what I mean?
My process is that she didn't get the ratings that they thought she was going to get. Like, they showed her on TV all the time. And I feel like they looked for reactions of, oh my God, wasn't it so cool that Jade Cargill was there? And people were like, yeah. And honestly, bro, like, I think they're petty enough. I think they only did it because she's a former AEW talent.
I don't think so at all. I think so. No, absolutely not. I think the NXT audience was very hip to her because the NXT audience loves just wrestling in general. So they showed her on NXT, and I feel like the NXT audience went crazy. But they showed her in a couple of main roster shows too. Am I right?
I don't remember.
And I feel like that's where they lost her because the main roster audience is like a much more casual WWE fan. So I feel like I definitely don't think they got her just to take her from AEW because, I mean, there was a lot of fucking, y'all know I'll be listening to all these wrestling podcasts. There were so many people who worked for AEW that were saying she would absolutely skyrocket in WWE. So, AEW wanted her to go to fucking WWE too. And on top of that, I know Triple H definitely like saw like he was like a big Team Jade Cargill guy. So I definitely, in her case, I don't think they signed her.
I don't mean to say that they got her because of that. I think they paraded her around because of that. That's what I think.
Sure.
Because honestly, bro,
just
like
to rub it in the faces.
When she was champion, we were all saying how green she was, how like you're parading her around like she's the next big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, we all know you're about to stick her in the NXT department and just do what you need to do with her. You're not about to stick her on the main roster. To Khan's point, you put her on the main roster shows and no one even knew who she was. Like, I think they paraded her around everywhere to just be like, look what we got. We got this brand new toy.
When you say it like that, I agree.
Yeah, I don't think they signed her because it was a petty thing to do. That's wild. I don't think that happened at all. But I think they paraded her around like a shiny new toy because it was anti-AEW. That's what I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
However, I do think she should show up. She could show up at the Rumble. I don't think she should win it. And I don't think her versus Rhea or her versus anybody right now is a fair matchup, I'd say.
Yeah. I need to see a few matches out of her first.
Yeah.
All right, so Becky was your choice too, Nick?
No, I said Liv.
Liv? Oh, yeah. And then Khan said Becky.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'll say Becky. Just because I just feel like they kind of stooged it off with that little segment with her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the men's.
This is announced?
What? This is just a graphic that he made just to say the men's.
No, I
Rumble.
just threw two
Yeah.
people that are in
I
it.
was about to say, oh
Yeah.
shit.
No. No, this is
Whoa, all right.
no, this is the men's rumble.
Yeah.
My bad.
Now, see, this one is like back to when the point we were making about the men's fatal four-way, how we just knew who was gonna win. I can't speak for y'all. For me, I really don't know. I feel like there's a few choices.
Yeah. I think there's two choices. I think it's Punk or Cody. Like those, that's who it's going to be. It's going to be one of those two.
Mhm.
And I'm still saying Cody because to me, he's on Raw, Roman's on SmackDown. The only way that he gets back there is to win something like the Rumble where he can choose where he wants to go.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing tying Roman to Cody right now.
Right.
And the only thing that could do it is this or like a Money in the Bank thing. That already passed.
Right.
So this
And
is what we
Cody's
got.
made it clear that he does not want the World Heavyweight title. He wants
Right.
the title that his father never won, which was
Right.
the WWE title. Which, even though, on SmackDown, you look at it, it's the Universal title, that one is still the one that has the connection and the lineage of the WWE title. So,
Mhm. I think Cody's the winner.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Cody.
Just because I if that's where we're headed, which I ultimately think we are, like it's the only way to there without trying to come up with something else. Like, and honestly, trying to come up with something else right now is kind of forced.
I really can't picture Punk winning the Royal Rumble and saying I picked the World Heavyweight Championship. I just can't see that. So
Right.
No, yeah.
right.
Especially when you're already in a feud with that guy. Like there's no reason to even win the Rumble if you know you're just going to fight with that guy anyway. So, and you can carry that storyline out into like there's already a story there with Cody and Roman right now. There's no story besides the story that we all know. Like there's no story in WWE right now tying Roman and Cody together. So there has to be Cody. If that's what we're going to do. If we're not going to do that, then cool. But I think that's what we are going to do. So my pick is Cody.
yeah, I'm gonna roll with Cody.
You guys have any predictions for any surprises during this one?
I do.
Let's hear it.
I think this might be a really hot take. But I think we will see both The Rock and John Cena.
At the Rumble? In the Rumble?
Yes, sir.
Tell me why.
I think The Rock is also looking for that shot against Roman as well. And I think if this is his push to do it, what's better than winning the Royal Rumble in main event WrestleMania
Correct.
against his cousin?
Wait, so is it your hot take that they're going to be in the Rumble or that they're going to win it?
No, they're not going to win it. No. They're not going to win it. They're going to be in it though. It's going to be fun.
Okay.
I think they're going to be in it early too. I think they'll show up in the 10s. I think they'll be we might get Rock 19, but we'll get Cena 11.
Shit, I think Brock's going to show up.
Brock's definitely showing up
I
too.
think Brock's showing up. Which I honestly I've had a long history of just being tired of Brock Lesnar, but I've also stated how, my opinion on him has changed in the past year. I'd probably be happy to see Brock Lesnar if he showed up.
I think it'd be fun. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean we've had enough of a break from him. You know what I mean? That's what it was. We've had a break.
I got a hot take.
Oh, boy.
Y'all ready? I think the Rumble is where we see the return of Big E.
Oh, please.
The Rumble is where we see the return of Big E.
I would love that.
Yeah, I have no reason behind it. I really have nothing. I don't know shit. But if I had a hot take, if I had a crazy prediction, mine is that Big E is where we see the Royal Rumble is where we see Big E return.
Yeah, I'm with
I'd
that.
be very happy to see that.
Yeah,
Is Kofi gonna make it?
probably.
I don't know.
Is that match on the Rumble card? Xavier versus Kaiser. Is that?
No, that's not wrong. What we went over. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. This is it. That's confirmed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's my crazy prediction is that Big E returns.
Big E. Okay.
Which may lead to a feud between the New Day and Imperium. Hopefully, this is just me just spewing out what I want. That may even lead to Big E versus Gunther. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know shit. That's just what I would like to see.
With that,
Okay, so I do think that Brock's coming back.
I think so.
I also think that we're probably going to get the return of Braun Strowman.
oh, okay,
And I think my big prediction, my big out of nowhere prediction is
Hot
the
take?
Royal Rumble. Huh?
Is it a hot take?
Possibly. Could be. We got to do this for right now.
Mhm.
I think we lost Nick.
There you
There he is. All right. I'm going to say the Royal Rumble is the debut of Kazuchika Okada.
go. Ooh, okay.
oh, that'd be nuts.
Okay.
Okay,
If you're going to if they hire him, which they have said that they're interested in him,
They definitely said they want him.
you're going to want to debut him at a place like the Royal Rumble where you know damn well that that's where all the smart fans are and they're going to
Yep.
know who the fuck he is.
Hey,
true. That'd be hard.
yeah. They did it with AJ.
Mm-hmm.
Did it with
Mhm.
AJ. And the fans knew who he was.
Yep.
The
Yep.
fans knew who he was.
All right. So I got one other question for you guys, and then we'll move on
Shoot.
from the predictions. Who do you think are going to be the last 4 people in the Royal Rumble? I'll give you mine so that you guys have a second to think about
For
it.
the men and the women?
No, just for the men.
Okay.
I think that
Final four?
the final 4.
Okay.
I think the final 4 are going to be CM Punk,
Yeah.
Cody,
Yep.
Gunther,
Hmm.
and Jey Uso. And I think
God damn.
that Jey Uso is going to eliminate Gunther, and Jey is going to be the one who beats Gunther for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania.
Oh wow.
Okay. Wow.
Oh wow.
Wow.
That is a
4 guys who have like pretty much been fucking cooking, in the past year, essentially.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I mean, everybody, when I said Jey Uso, everybody was like, I don't know about that. I don't see that happening. It's going to be him and Jimmy. Well, he's already fighting Imperium.
true.
He said that
He
he
saved
wants
New
the
Day.
title.
Yeah.
He went on it.
They
He had
did
an
it.
interview recently that he specifically said, I want the Intercontinental title because my uncle and my father both held it.
Mhm.
I like that.
I like
And
that.
he's about the only person on Raw, of the mid-carders where I could say Jay is believable to beat Gunther.
I think so.
I'll believe that.
I think so too. Shit.
What do you guys think? Final 4.
Con, you want to go?
I mean, fuck, bro. Like I said, bro, Ham's good at doing that.
He is.
Because I really fuck, dude. It's for sure. I for sure think it's going to be Punk and Cody.
Yeah.
And Jay, because I kind of forgot about Jay for a second. And fuck, man, yeah. I honestly, I'd have to agree with Ham. Seriously. Now, in terms of just like leading up to like stories afterwards, like that's up in the air for me. Like I really couldn't call it, but yeah, in terms of Final Four, I think I'd have to agree with Hambone. Like, yeah, those 4.
I definitely have a little bit of a difference. I'm gonna say Punk. I'm gonna say Cody. I'm going to say Solo Sikoa. And I'm gonna say Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
That is my final 4.
Okay.
And I think I don't know how that ends up, but, but that's a crazy 4. And that, I mean, if Cody eliminates Solo, A, you're messing with the bloodline again, and B, you win it. You got your storyline there too. So that's kind of where I'm at with Solo being in there. Rock, I think, is really, if he's really serious about the head of the table shit, he's in there and he's sticking around. You're not going to just throw him out real quick. So, and then Punk is Punk. So Punk's, they want to keep Punk as, a valid contender for a while.
So let's go with your final 4 there, Nick, right? Obviously, that final 4. Solo's the first one out. You get those final 3, right?
Yeah.
You say that Cody's going to win. Who eliminates The Rock?
Cody,
Yeah. Okay.
which could lead to maybe some sort of triple threat thing, or maybe just a level of respect from Rock. Like, okay, you go take that dude out, type shit. You know,
Sure.
like maybe that's what it ends up being. Like, because Cody's got nothing but cosign since he's been here, bro. So if Rock sees it like that's a level of respect thing and just shakes Cody's hand after the Rumble win, you know, it's like, okay, look, go get Roman.
Yeah.
Go finish your story, type
So
shit.
he
You know,
got the respect from Lesnar. Now he's gonna get it from The Rock,
yeah.
and then
He's already got it
finally
from
gonna go
Cena.
on. Sure.
He's already got it from Cena.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, so it's like,
Yeah. True. Yep.
He got it from The Rock.
yeah.
He got
So-
it from The Rock.
All right, so that's it for the Royal Rumble predictions. We'll see what happens, but we're gonna close the show.
Ooh,
Last
it's funny
week.
time.
It's what time?
It's funny time.
Oh, funny time.
It's funny time.
Funny time. Funny
It's on the
time.
yucks.
All right, so last week we started a bracket for our favorite comedians,
Mhm.
and this week we are going to start knocking them out. We all drafted our favorites, 5 favorites. Dave Chappelle, he got a bye,
You did.
and then Nick created a little bracket.
You did.
That
I didn't put the bracket in here. Damn.
I know, but I did.
Oh, you did? Look at you.
I got you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's on top of it.
Okay.
So this is how it shook out.
Cat
We
Williams.
got Dave Chappelle versus Eddie Murphy.
Mhm.
Bill Burr versus Mitch Hedberg. Bo Burnham versus Steve Harvey. Ron Funches versus Robin Williams. Kevin Hart versus I Can't See because the
Cat Williams.
Cat Williams. Is that why you said Cat Williams? Because you knew
Yes,
it was.
he's up there. He's up there at the top.
Then we got Mark Maron versus Bernie Mac. Jim Gaffigan versus Patton Oswalt. And John Mulaney versus Gabriel Iglesias.
I'm not ready.
You better get ready.
I'm
You
not
better
ready.
get
I'm not
ready.
okay.
So you know what? I mean, we're gonna start right at the top.
I mean, this should be last.
Nope.
I made it first.
Making
I
it
know.
difficult for you.
Yeah. I mean,
This
okay.
is hard for me.
So this is like a generational thing, right? So I feel like if we were 10 years older, we'd be having a different conversation.
Sure.
But I think for us, Dave is the choice here, right? So like,
Yeah.
it's just like Eddie's just is such a, I don't want to call it trendsetter, but he paved the way for a lot of fucking people, right? So it's just like it sucks that this is not the hardest choice in the world.
Why? I mean, you made the matchups, Nick.
I know, but I'm saying like it sucks that it isn't like it's not a hard choice, you know? Like it's
Right.
like to me it's not. And like
Yeah. I think that like you said, it is a generational thing because we grew up on Eddie Murphy, not the comedian, but the movie actor.
the movie star.
You know,
right.
that's how we know him. Yeah, we know
Right.
we've seen his comedy. We know that that's how he started. We know he was a trendsetter and that he, definitely talked about some controversial issues and he was, raunchy and all that before, but that's not how we know him. We know the Nutty Professor.
Yeah.
You know what
We
I mean?
know
That's
Daddy
what I think
Daycare.
of when I think of Eddie.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's definitely Dave Chappelle for me.
I think it's really wild too, because like, the argument of, there wouldn't be a Dave Chappelle without Eddie Murphy is probably true. However, that does not pertain in this bracket.
Sure.
I don't
Yeah.
like that argument when it comes to stuff like that.
That's such a cop out to me, bro.
It's such a cop out, right? So like I don't like that shit. 'Cause, like,
It's who
Yeah.
makes us laugh harder.
Yep.
yeah. So it's like, no, like, dude, like I'm telling you about who I prefer, who I like better, and it's Dave Chappelle for me as well.
Con?
It's Dave Chappelle for me too, but let me tell you why. Because I don't want to come off as disrespectful to Eddie Murphy. I don't need to fucking Nick already did it. I don't need to fucking talk about what we know about Eddie Murphy and what he's done. I don't need to do that shit.
Yeah.
My introduction to Dave Chappelle was Undercover Brother. To
Alright.
this day, still one of the
What
funniest-
is happening right now?
I don't know what that was. Nick, did you do that?
I didn't do anything.
That wasn't me.
Are you on your Mac?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the iPhone stuff. Okay,
Oh,
go ahead.
But yeah, my introduction to Dave Chappelle was Undercover Brother, and to me, that's still one of the funniest movies I've ever seen.
I think Half Baked was my introduction to Dave Chappelle.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Half Baked wasn't funny to me. But Undercover Brother, oh my god, dude, I back to back, and then obviously stand-up specials. Now, I still don't think the Dave Chappelle show is funny at all. It's too slapsticky for me. It's
It's blasphemy.
So
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Blasphemy.
Yeah.
It's not funny to me. But his stand-ups.
I mean, listen. I respect your opinion, even though you're wrong.
Let's hear
It's
it.
just the wrong one.
Oh my god.
Even though you're wrong.
Funny, bro. Sorry. It's just that slapstick shit. No. But yeah, just off Undercover Brother and off pretty much all of his Netflix stand-ups.
Mhm.
I've seen Raw, and I didn't see Raw or Delirious until I met Sheila. To be honest with you, I didn't see either.
Yeah.
But even then, they were funny. They were funny, but Dave Chappelle's just I've remembered laughing much harder at Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
And if you get fucking offended, suck my ass. I don't give a shit.
You make your own bracket if you get offended.
Make your own fucking bracket, bro.
Yeah.
Because I've had like I know what's coming, right? I know what's coming. People are gonna they're gonna treat this guy who's yes a legend and an actor, but this guy who bleeds like I bleed and breathes like I breathe, like, oh, that's fucking blasphemous. Suck my dick.
Yeah, no.
I mean, you can say that, but Dave's a legend too in
He's a
comedy.
legend too, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Shit. I'm not
It's
gonna
like I
pick
said,
Eddie-
if you
I'm
want to
not
do
picking
something,
Eddie Murphy.
you start your own
I
fucking
know what's
podcast.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it because I know it's coming. People are gonna be annoying. Dave, like you said, Dave Chappelle is fucking funny too. I pick Dave.
Big Dave too. Yeah, no, this whole like bro, if we're doing this person inspired this person, then Eddie Murphy wins automatically. We can just go home, bro. I'm not worried. Like
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. Like I'm not here to do that. Like I don't give a fuck about what you think, bro.
Who makes me laugh harder? That's it.
Yeah, I don't care about what you think. I care about when I put these two people together, I'm laughing harder at Dave. As a 30-year-old man who was born in 1993, bro, I was not alive when Raw and Delirious came out. Take that old head shit somewhere else, bro. I don't care about inspiration. I don't care about none of that shit. I laugh at Dave harder. That's it. Point blank. Go make your own podcast. Go and do it from there, bro.
We know that we know he's fired.
Yeah. So it's Dave.
All right, so Dave Chappelle advances, and he will face the winner of Bill Burr and Mitch Hedberg.
Fuck, bro. I ain't gonna lie. This is Bill. I want Bill.
Yeah,
Give me Bill.
I respect the hell out of fucking Mitch Hedberg. Like he's in his own fucking lane of comedy. However, I did not grow up on Mitch Hedberg. I don't know. I missed the Mitch Hedberg window when he was popping. Like, and I know a lot of my peers love Mitch Hedberg, bro. So I completely get that. However, I missed that train. Missed it completely. Don't even know if I was at the stop. Don't know what happened. Wasn't there. I see his clips all the time on TikTok and everything else. I missed that boat. Bill Burr, I caught on immediately. So
There's not a comedian alive who's made me laugh as hard as Bill Burr, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Bill Burr's easily in my top
You
5.
want to? So if I could share my introduction of Bill Burr, it was I don't know what the special was called. It was a really old one. They used to have like his first 3 on Spotify, and then they took them off. So I don't think they're up there anymore. But the first one I saw, I was a child. Like I was a little kid, and he told this funny ass fucking joke. This is what won me over and I knew what time it was because it was on like Comedy Central, and it was like midnight. So I knew I shouldn't have been watching this shit.
Mm-hmm.
So he tells this joke. He starts off talking about like he's like, oh yeah, he's just, and you know it's Bill, bro. He don't give a shit. So he's like, yeah, I'm gonna come out and say I'm sick of pedophiles, right? It was like, okay, that was more, right? So he goes, he says something about like, yeah, there's something about the kids, right? He goes, yeah, they're not, they're doing it backwards. He goes, they just keep making them fatter and fatter, trying to make them unfuckable. And I'm like, what, bro? And my parents were asleep, right? My parents were asleep. And on weekends I could stay up, but I got to be quiet, right? Bro, I laughed so hard that I think I woke my dad up. He made me go to bed. I laughed so hard at that joke. There's the sandwich joke that we talked about.
Yep.
The cash register joke. There's just too many heavy hitting ass jokes with Bill Burr.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like Mitch was funny. You know what I mean? Because I remember his comedy specials, and I'm gonna keep it a bean. Every time I saw Mitch, I feel like he wore that outfit like every time I saw him.
Yeah.
Definitely the glasses, but it's Bill, bro. It's Bill. A no brainer for me.
Yeah.
My vote doesn't matter here, but I drafted Mitch Hedberg,
You did.
and was saying that
That's your boy.
Bill Burr.
Yeah.
Bill Burr it is.
You have a favorite Bill Burr joke?
Oh man, it's probably so. I saw him a long time ago too, and there's one where I can't even remember. I honestly can't even remember the exact joke, but it's something about him being white and the fact that he has a Latina girlfriend.
Mm.
I don't think I heard that one.
Yeah, I can't remember. This is back when he had hair, so it's been a
That
while.
was a long time ago. Yeah, the first special I saw, he had hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to find what it is, but that's the thing that sticks out in my head is that one.
I think between the sandwich joke, the register joke, and the one about how he was like tired of these like movies that made like black and white people like it was the same movie where it's like the white person shows up and tries to save a school. And he's like, he was talking about what's that movie with Hillary Swank? It was called
The Freedom Riders.
Freedom Riders, and he goes,
Yeah.
he gives a whole breakdown. He goes, let me guess, she shows up and they don't accept her. She goes and cries to her feminine boyfriend, he's wearing sweatpants and he's cooking something for some reason, and he convinces her to go back and give it another shot. And then next thing you know, the next day she draws out there in a beauty. They throw a do-rag on her. She starts fucking dancing.
All right, so here's the joke. So he mentions that he had a Latina girlfriend, and he's talking about being a white guy and having a girlfriend of a different race, and he's like, interracial sex is probably some of the best sex on the planet. You know why that is? Because with interracial sex, there's like this whole added pressure to perform, because it's like you're not just humping for yourself, you're humping for your race. You got to represent your people.
He's funny, man. He's funny.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
So
Bill Burr.
it's Bill across the board for us.
All right.
Absolutely. Yep.
So that means that
Bill
we
versus
get Bill
Dave.
Burr versus Dave Chappelle
Next week.
Versus
round.
Dave. Okay.
Next week. Oh boy. I don't know about that one.
All right.
So, real quick, in the future, because you sent this to us beforehand, I think in the future when we do these brackets, the first time we should see it is like during the podcast, because I feel like we might have had time to like think about who we were gonna pick, and I want to go in kind of, I don't know about y'all, I want to go in blind.
I got you.
Okay,
We'll do that.
I got you.
Yep. I will do that.
Bo Burnham
Okay,
versus Steve
so
Harvey.
our next
Ooh,
matchup is
Hmm.
Bo Burnham and Steve Harvey.
Damn.
This is a no-brainer for me, but I will let you guys.
It might be a no-brainer for me, even though I picked Steve.
Mhm.
Bo might have an edge on this because I might have been I think I was ready to hate on him the first time I saw him when he came out doing the whole musical number. I think I was ready to hate. But when I saw how he did what he did, I was like, not only is this funny, this is like super fucking like this is creative as shit.
Yeah.
He's a hell of a musician, bro, and he's like,
Mhm.
yes, like the way that he's able to blend music with comedy. That's like I don't know anybody else who can do that. There might have been other people that do that, but not like he does it.
Not
And
like
then-
him.
Yeah, bro. I do think Steve Harvey is hilarious, but maybe take like playing the piano and telling jokes and still being funny as you're doing that, bro. I don't think that's an easy task to do at all. So
I don't know.
just off that, and the big deal breaker for me was that the special that he dropped during the lockdown.
Yep. Yep. That was
I
good shit.
felt everything watching that shit. So I
Yeah.
think even though I picked Steve, I think it's a no-brainer for me that it's Bo Burnham. And Sheila texted me in all caps, Bo Burnham, Bo Burnham, Bo Burnham.
Yep, definitely Bo Burnham. Cameron, do you have anything to say about this?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's Bo for me. And one of the other reasons too, I mean, while I do find Steve funny, I find him funnier in situations that are not just him standing up and doing comedy.
It's more like reactionary with
Yeah.
it.
too.
Yeah.
Me
Yeah,
too.
but I agree with everything that Khan said. Bo is just he's so talented to be able to do all that, but he's just so sharp and
Mhm.
quick-witted, and the way he delivers his jokes are hilarious, and he's not
And bro,
afraid to get a little controversial without going over the line,
Yeah.
he's been
been
so
doing
it's
this
definitely
at
him.
a young age too, because I think
Yeah.
in the special he was like it was
Yeah,
it was
like
just-
I said.
It was like 19
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, when my wife and I saw him, which was 10, 12 years ago. I think he was 19 at the time.
Yeah.
Like nobody knew who he was. You
I
know,
think he was like 16 or some shit, some crazy age, bro. But
Yeah.
like he's just really, really smart, bro. And
yeah,
it makes no disrespect to Steve Harvey, but it almost makes Steve Harvey look like a one-trick pony.
Yeah, that's the thing. And Bo's gonna do that to a lot of people on this list, unfortunately. My thing with I agree that I think Steve Harvey's reactionary humor is better than anything stand-up wise, in my opinion.
He's when he's reacting to stuff.
So like I'm the person who's gonna stop when a Family Feud thing shows up on TikTok. For me, that's who I am. I'm just gonna be like, oh shit, I gotta see what the fuck happens on this clip here. But like Bo Burnham is just the artistic appreciation of it is just so unmatched.
Like I know I sat here and like yelled like I'm picking who's funnier, but in this case, you know, not only to add how funny Bo Burnham is, but like what you just said, Nick, it's just like that's just a level of I just appreciate the art.
Yeah. Sure.
Do you guys think that Bo Burnham, besides art wise, is funnier than Steve Harvey?
Yes.
Yeah,
I think that was about to say. I'm gonna do the same thing, and I think probably we should like really be doing that too. Is like, do we really think this person's funnier than the other person? Because
he did something like he said something that I feel like at the age that I heard it, I shouldn't have understood that shit. But it was so clever that I had to laugh at it. He said something like, he was playing the piano, obviously, but he goes, I got more lines than Whitney Houston's coffee table. And it was just like, oh, yeah. It was just like so shocking to hear that, bro.
Right.
Right.
The way that I think about it too is I hypothetical situation. You tell me that Netflix is dropping a Bo Burnham special and a Steve Harvey stand-up special on the same day.
Running the Bo.
I'm running the Bo. I'll watch Steve at some point, but I'm immediately watching Bo's.
I don't know if I'm watching Steve today though.
I'm watching Bo first, but right after I'm going straight to Steve.
I don't know if I'm watching Steve today though. That's just me. I don't know if I'm doing that today.
Yeah.
2024.
Sure.
But if like definitely today, if you're telling me that one of them, I'm sprinting to Bo.
Yeah, I'm running to both.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
all right, so
both. BOTH. I'm running to both.
So Bo Burnham is going to face the winner of the next round, Ron Funches and Robin Williams. Now I'm just gonna get it out of the way. Obviously, I put Ron on my team, and I'm going with him. And again, I'm looking at this the same way that I looked at Eddie Murphy. While I understand Robin's contributions and stuff to comedy, that was before my time. And for me, he's flubber. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think of his comedy when I think about him. I think about his movies. So Ron wins it for me.
Yeah, I didn't even know him as a comedian. I knew him as an actor. And honestly, I've seen him in a lot. Like he's funny. He's funny as shit, obviously. But most of the stuff I've seen him in is like much more serious roles.
Okay.
So as funny as I do think Robin Williams is, I'm rocking with Ron.
Okay. It's no secret if you know who I am. Robin Williams inspires me like no other person. I've watched everything he's done. I definitely recognize him more as an actor. But I think his quick-wittedness is unmatched by anybody and probably ever will be matched by anybody else. This is a lack of understanding for me. I know a little bit about Ron Funches. Very little about Ron.
Funny, bro. He's one of those people for me that like when I look at him, I kind of start laughing.
Yeah,
I can hear his voice immediately. I just saw him in the Suicide Squad commercial, bro. He's funny. He's just funny as fuck, man. And
like I said, I've seen him. I know I've seen. I think I've seen one of his specials, but I'm not too familiar with him. So I think by the time we do this again, which I think is 2 weeks from now, I'm gonna try to maybe watch one of his things to see where I'm at with him.
I watched his link. Will send me too. I watched the link.
Yeah, my pick is Robin.
He was cooking.
My pick is Robin, but Ron is definitely winning by majority here. So salute to Ron.
Mm-hmm.
So next week we'll have Bo Burnham versus Ron Funches. Nice having you, Ron. So the next matchup is Cat Williams, Kevin Hart.
Cat.
This is
This is a difficult one.
Go ahead, Hambone. Work it out.
I don't want to work it out. This one's hard for me. I'm
It's funny too because these two like have like real serious like beef between each
right.
other.
They
Mm.
definitely don't get along.
No.
I'm going with Kevin Hart.
Oh.
And I
Okay.
think it's because Cat Williams is fucking hilarious. I'm not ever
Oh.
saying that. But for me, sometimes a lot of his comedy seems very like one of you guys said it earlier, very one trick pony. Kind of it's all a lot of it is a lot of the same material, kind of. I feel
You're saying Cat Williams is, you're saying?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I find Kevin to be more what's the word I want to use?
3-dimensional, I guess, would be the better word. Or more layered, probably.
Sure. Layered
Yeah.
works. I just feel like he has more topics that his comedy covers. And I think that's why I'm going to say him.
You know what? I'm gonna agree. I'll agree. I was ready to disagree, but I think I will agree when you say it like that. I think for me, Kevin Hart, like I remember, I mean, I explained to you what special to watch. In the beginning, I thought he was very, very hilarious. And the bigger he got, a lot of his specials became, much more family friendly.
Mhm.
You know
Sure.
what I mean?
Sure.
And for me, is kind of where I kind of lost interest. Cat Williams, on the other hand, it's just like I don't think there's ever a time where Cat Williams came off campy to me. And Kevin Hart, although like I watch like his show on Peacock is very funny. There's been a lot of campy moments for me that kind of make me go with Cat without
Sure.
even thinking about it.
Yeah, I completely see that. I get that. Break it, Nick.
I definitely fell victim to like the narrative around Cat Williams, where like I thought he's a drug addict, I thought he went to prison, I thought all this stuff. Right? I don't believe any of that stuff now. I don't know.
Well, he
Like,
definitely went to prison a lot, but yeah, well, not prison, but
Yeah.
jail. He definitely went to jail a lot.
That's fine, yeah. But I think in my head over the years I've kind of given him like this, like he's kind of just like chunky in that and I don't agree with that now. I'm going with the ultimate thing is which one I think is genuinely funnier, and I genuinely think that Cat Williams is funnier.
My dog, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go, bro. Let's go.
I agree with Khan a lot. I think Kevin early on was very funny, and there's still moments where like Kevin's like face will pop up on my
He's still funny. as shit.
phone, and I'm immediately start laughing. I haven't even heard what he's about to say, and I'm still laughing. I'm
Yeah,
laughing.
he's
right?
still funny as hell.
He's still funny as hell. I just, when it comes to the stand-up stuff, I'm laughing my ass off at Cat Williams.
Cat just does it a little more effortlessly for me, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, really, you could say
I love the hustling bit. I love the joke about the tiger. Like even just the stuff he's done in television and movies,
Yep.
bro. Like I don't think I've ever seen Cat Williams, and he did make me laugh.
That's me too.
you could say that Kevin Hart is kind of falling into the same thing as Eddie Murphy. His comedy was great. It was real controversial. It was, riding that edge of whether it was, politically, correct or not, at first. And then as he got into movies, he got more popular. Everything started to get a little bit more family friendly, and it's not as edgy anymore. And that's just not funny to,
Right.
the 30 and up crowd.
I think he definitely did that. I 100% agree with you. Again, not like I'm not mad at it at all. I still
Yeah.
So we're doing Cat, right?
All right. Cat Williams advances, and he will face the winner
Oh my god.
of.
Featuring
Oh,
Finn.
look at that.
What a Finn.
Give me a hug. Oh fuck.
One of y'all gotta go first.
Yeah, listen.
Oof.
This one is easy for me. I know that might be controversial, but for me, it's Mark Maron.
I-
Mark Maron is probably as funny as I find Bernie Mac, and I do find him funny. Mark Maron is one of the most influential comedians for me.
Okay.
For me.
Like influences you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Me.
Okay.
He is one of the most influential comedians for me. He's one of my all-time favorites. I just can't choose Bernie Mac over him. I don't find Bernie Mac as funny as I find Mark Maron. I prefer Mark's style of comedy. So
Okay. Con.
You go.
I'm down to the ultimate thing with who makes me laugh more, and as I recall, Bernie Mac has made me laugh harder. I can recognize all the being the influencer, and I said last week that he was part of the reason I became a podcaster in the first place. I just don't think I'm a huge fan of that style of comedy, actually, if I'm gonna be realistic about it. I can get some dark, damage people making you laugh. I get that completely, and it's happened to me before. We talked about Mark Maron, the similarities with him and Patton Oswalt, and I can understand why that's funny. I just don't think that's my genre.
Sure.
And I feel like Bernie is kind of there as well in a way. I mean, I think there's a lot of that in there. I'm you know what though? I feel like I see Bernie more as a TV guy too, though.
Sure.
Me personally, I
Yeah.
feel like I see him more from his show than I do his stand-up. So if we're going by that, I feel like Mark Maron is probably the choice, but I'm probably just gonna say Bernie, just because that's where my head is at. That's where I'm on the fence with it. I think I'm leaning more toward Bernie, so that's probably my pick.
You're the tiebreaker, Con.
Come here.
Sheila doing
Gotta get the
cop
Sheila
out.
influence on it.
No, I feel like I know my answer.
Okay.
What? Oh, I know my answer.
I know her answer.
Yeah.
Don't let me.
I feel like I know her answer too, but I don't know, bro. I don't know. I guess I don't know. This is hard.
Bernie. I'm rocking with Bernie.
Wow.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Mark Maron, quite the opposite of my big country friend here. That style of comedy is right up my fucking alley.
Okay.
I think it's very funny. It's very reminiscent of my friend who I talk about very frequently on here, Zane. I feel like Mark Maron is who Zane is gonna be in his late 50s, mid 60s, bro. Like, fuck. And I talked to him just yesterday. Shouts out to Zane. But Mark Maron is really, really funny, and he did a really good job in taking his life experiences and his life story, which are really fucked up, and making you acknowledge that they're fucked up, but the way that he's sharing them with you are really fucking funny. I think his podcast is brilliant. I thought his show was brilliant. I think he's brilliant. I think he's hilarious. I really think he's hilarious. He's Jewish, yes?
I believe so.
I love that. I love that he can be the whiny, but also dramatic, that very much like Zane. That he reminds me a lot of him. But aside from that, I do love his style of comedy. I think he's funny as shit. But Bernie has just made me laugh this much harder. Stand up, TV. We were just watching the Bernie Mac show the other day. My mom put me on to Bernie Mac. You know what I mean? My family loves Bernie Mac. He's just effortlessly funny, bro. You see him and you just start fucking laughing. Watch Guess Who, watch the Bernie Mac show, I still don't remember which Oceans it was. I think it was Ocean's 11. Friday, he's hilarious, bro. He's funny as shit. We were watching the Bernie Mac show, And I've explained the premise before. It's him watching his nieces and nephews while his sister's in rehab. There's like this episode that we love where it's really hot. They live in LA. It's really, really hot. And the AC goes out. And Bernie's like complaining about the heat. And his two youngest niece and nephew are playing like checkers and they're arguing, right? And he has no patience for these kids whatsoever. They're little kids, but he treats them like prisoners. And he yells at them and he tells them to keep it down, but they're playing checkers. He's so mad at them. Before he leaves, he just takes the checkerboard and just moves all the pieces, just messes up, and it just walks like little shit like that, bro. Where it just makes you go, bro, these are little kids. But or the chemistry between him and Ashton Kutcher and Guess Who, like. Yeah, man. Like Mark Maron has made me laugh hard, but I don't think he's made me laugh nearly as hard as Bernie. This was tough. Like this was really hard, bro, because when I got into Mark Maron, man, like I was really like attached to him for a while, but I think at the end I gotta rock with Bernie.
That might be an upset.
I was gonna say
I feel like it would fit right with my conscience if I didn't pick Bernie.
No,
this is the first one that hurts me.
This hurts me too, bro. I don't like that. Nick, you made the bracket?
Yeah.
I don't like that you put them. That was hard, bro. This was the hardest one. Yeah, it was like a no-brainer for the most part, but this was tough.
Is that your choice too, Sheila?
For me, this is a no-brainer.
She's picking Bernie.
For me, it's a no-brainer. I'm picking Bernie, but only because I feel like there's it's not that their style of comedy is different, it's that they're funny in different ways. Mark Maron gets on stage, he tells his stories, and his stories are really funny, and his comedy is funny, and the way he delivers is funny. Bernie Mac is just funny.
He's just funny.
From the way he speaks.
It's unnatural.
Articulates, that's just who he is. Yeah. In the Bernie Mac show, he chose to use his own name because that's just who he is. Mm-hmm. And I think the only disadvantage that Mark Maron has is that we didn't get an opportunity to like get a look into who he is the way we do with Bernie. So that's why to me this is a no-brainer. Like to me this is no comparison. You're speaking of like a stand-up comedian and somebody that
you're hurting me, Sheila.
Talking about like
saying there's no comparison, no-brainer. You're hurting me.
To me, it's a no-brainer because you have the embodiment of comedy being Bernie and then a comedian. You know what I mean? Like that's how I see it.
All right. Well,
it's a natural thing.
It's a natural thing. It's just Bernie is effortless. He doesn't have to try. He doesn't have to put stories together. It's there's no like I doubt he's ever been in a writer's room and has really had to try. And I mean most of his lines are improv and most of his what are they called? His bloopers, all of them are like improv. Like he's just that's just who he is, you know? Yeah.
Like with Mark, I'm laughing when he's telling jokes.
Yes.
I'm not I'm intently listening to his podcast. Right. I'm paying attention to his acting, but with Bernie, it's like he could just be standing there, bro, and I'm on the fucking floor. Right. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you what bracket would be very difficult for me if you put Eddie Murphy and Bernie Mac.
Oof.
I would know.
That would be bad.
Give me an answer. Give me an answer.
I wouldn't have. Nope.
Give me an answer.
She loves them both.
I'm not giving.
We would have been here all day.
She loves them both.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this one hurts me, but Mark Maron moves on. He will face Cat Williams. Bernie. Bernie will move on. He will face Cat Williams in the next round.
He tried to sneak Mark Maron in there.
Yeah. I was trying to will it into existence.
No. Make it past the first two.
That's nuts. We're not gonna do that to Mark.
Wow.
Oh, this next one.
All right. Yeah. So the next one is Jim Gaffigan and Patton Oswalt.
This one fucks Nick up. This one's easy for me.
This one's easy for me, but
yeah, this one's easy for me too.
Hell no. Well, I'm gonna lose then because I already know y'all's answer.
Now let me
you want to go last? Or you want to go first?
I'll go last because I don't know. Yeah, no, y'all go.
You know what? Switch it up. Go first because you're the one that's undecided. Go first.
Again, if I'm just sitting there going, who's made me laugh the hardest? It's definitely Jim Gaffigan. However, I respect the hell out of Patton Oswalt's body of work, and that shit is fucking immaculate.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. Like, so fucking.
That's not.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what's
I did
crazy
this.
to
I
me
did
is
this
we
to myself.
put this. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We put this bracket together, and once we looked at the bracket, we went, "Holy shit!" Just a bunch of just heavy hitters.
Heavy
The
hitters.
next round
It's gonna suck.
is going to be so difficult.
next or 2 weeks from now is gonna be really bad. I feel like both of y'all picked Patton Oswalt, right?
I'm going Patton.
Oh, Patton all the way.
Patton.
Yeah. I can't even fight for Jim, bro. Jim, bro.
This isn't fair.
Yeah, give him the point. Yeah, you know, let him walk away with one.
I mean, Jim put points on the board. It's just Patton Oswalt's just running up the score. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't compete.
You can't compare the two.
Oh man,
This is
yeah,
another
they are
one.
really different, like
Very
comics too.
Oh, yeah.
It's very different.
Yeah.
That's the thing we're running into here. Is like there's very different comics on this bracket here, and so it's just like, man, but like, yeah, if we're talking strictly stand up, it's definitely Jim Gaffigan for me. I don't know for you guys if that's the same thing, but like for me,
Strictly stand up, then it's Jim Gaffigan.
Nope.
yeah,
But we're not talking
Yeah.
strictly
constant.
I'm going strictly stand up, and I'm still
Stand
picking
up,
Patton.
Patton smoking Gaffigan's boots.
I would all.
that.
I mean, because
All
really,
that.
really, in my opinion, if you look at Patton's acting stuff,
Mhm.
it's like it's not funny shit. Like it's little bit
There
parts
is funny
and-
shit, but yeah.
Well,
I
yeah,
understand.
but you know what I
Yeah,
mean. Like it's
yeah.
not. I don't look at his TV and feel like that. For me, his TV and movie appearances don't add anything at all to whether I find him funny or not, because they're just little bit parts and you know they're not overly funny, hilarious parts. So for me, I'm going strictly off of a stand.
Did y'all see?
Yeah,
Did y'all see Secret Life of Walter Mitty?
No.
Oh,
That's
that's
a good-
with Ben Affleck.
That's a good movie. No, Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller.
That's a good fucking movie, by the way. But he's in it, and he
Mhm.
plays like a customer service rep.
Patton.
And Patton Oswalt plays a customer service rep in the movie. Ben Stiller is the main character in that movie. But Jim Gaffigan's not in that movie. But Patton Oswalt plays a customer service rep, and it's just a voice role until like the very end.
Mhm.
But it's a really good. That's one of the more serious roles, I'd say. He's funny in it, but it's a more serious role. That's a beautiful movie, by the way. If y'all have not seen it, I would definitely recommend it. I love that movie. But yeah, Patton Oswalt wins.
All right, so Patton advances, and he is going to face the winner of the last round,
No brainer.
Oh boy.
John Mulaney
No brainer.
and
Mulaney.
Gabriel Iglesias.
Mulaney.
Nick,
Is this as easy for you, Hambo?
yes,
Fuck.
Who you got?
but you don't know which way I'm leaning, so
I think I do.
I don't.
Hambo, then you go. Who are you leaning?
Yeah, who you like?
I am not a Gabriel Iglesias fan at all.
I do. That's
John
what I
Mulaney.
thought. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm rocking with Mulaney.
Well, that was quick.
But Nick is so dejected right now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, I got into Mulaney. I mean, I think we all did. We got to Mulaney very late. I mean,
Sure.
Mulaney wasn't very big into stand up until like the last 7
Sure.
years or something.
Yeah.
So, like,
No.
No, we've been John Mulaney. fans
Yeah,
from
I was a
the
child when I
beginning.
got hip to John Mulaney. I was in elementary.
what was he doing? Was he doing?
on Comedy Central?
Yep.
Remember
Yeah.
just the Comedy
I
Central?
don't remember any of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Back
yeah,
when he was
that's.
still, like he was still in AA. Like he was
Yeah.
still getting.
Oh, see, I was late. I was late as hell.
Yeah.
I was way after he left SNL being the head writer, John
I'm a
Mulaney.
Mulaney fan from the beginning. Her too. We
Oh,
both
yeah.
have. Yeah.
From the beginning.
Missed all that. So
All right, so let's take a look at the next round. We're gonna have Dave Chappelle versus Bill Burr.
yep.
We're gonna have Bo Burnham versus Ron Funches.
You guys didn't
Cat Williams versus Bernie Mac, and
Mhm.
Patton Oswalt versus John Mulaney.
That one's gonna be hard. That one's gonna be hard. Patton versus John Mulaney is gonna be hard.
That's nuts.
been here earlier.
Bill
Williams-
and Dave is hard for me.
Bill and Dave's would be really hard.
Sorry, if I had been here earlier, the Robin Williams,
Ron Funches.
Ron Funches debate would have been a tie.
She would have picked Robin.
Williams.
She would've picked
Yeah. So that's where I was at too, but I wasn't winning. I was not winning that argument.
Sorry, bud. I should have gotten here sooner.
You're good. I lost a lot of the battles tonight. That's fine.
Dude,
All right.
Robin, like I lost my dad that day, the day he died. That's how that. That's how that.
Yeah, no, that's what happened too. Yeah, no, that one really hurt.
All right. So that's oh god, that's gonna be the next round.
Good app.
That is not going to be this coming Sunday. That is going
No.
to be Sunday the 5th because we are going to be off this coming Sunday because I am having surgery in a couple days. So I don't really know how I'm going to be feeling. So we're going to skip next Sunday,
The 5th?
February.
Not the
the
5th.
5th, February the 5th. Yeah.
Sheila's birthday.
That's my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be back here on your
There you
birthday.
go. We'll be back here on our birthday.
Probably not. Probably not.
Yeah.
What's up?
Probably not. Probably no pod.
Oh, you probably won't pod that day.
It's wifey's birthday. Yeah.
Mm,
It didn't register for
So we won't be doing this on the 5th then.
No, we'll be doing this on because I won't be here on the 11th. So
Who knows when we're going to do this? We'll
February's
do it
fucking
at
us
some
up.
point. We'll get back to it at some point. You got to watch the show
yeah.
to see when we do it.
So no pod next week. Khan's gone the week after that, and I'm going on the week after that, and then we're back to regular schedule.
Yes. Yes.
Wait,
So
I'm gone the week after that.
February 5th.
You're gone February
yeah,
5th.
for her birthday. Yeah.
No, baby.
Didn't you just say that the February
Next
5th?
week is
Yeah.
Next week is his
Yeah,
surgery.
but we're
so
not
none of
doing
us
next
will-
week. We're
Right,
doing the
none of
week
us will be
after, which
here.
is February 5th. Yeah.
Yeah, none of us will be here at all next week, and then you won't be here for Sheila's birthday, and then I won't be here for the Super Bowl.
Right.
That's why we're all not going to be here.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
So yeah, we'll get back to this at some point. But just watch. Watch the socials. Khan, tell them where to find you.
Instagram, TikTok, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. All at my X/Twitter is I hate you Khan. My TikTok is Khan from the 703, and my Instagram is Khan from the 703.
Sheila, tell them where to find you. Why not? Plug your shit.
Don't look for it.
Okay.
don't-
Don't look for her.
she's not going to be found.
I'm off the grid.
Mhm.
All right, Nick.
It's just Nick. It's all one word on TikTok and X and Twitch, and I have a gaming channel and a Instagram for photography. That's it.
There you go. So you can find me on TikTok and on Instagram at Hambone with 3 A's, 3 O's, on X at notorious_bone. Yeah, that's it. We'll see you
Yeah.
some other time, you fucking marks. Goodbye. But you know what to do. As always,
Goodbye.
keep it kinky, marks.
Keep it kinky. Goodbye.
Keep it black.